I'm Christine Lisi. After being given the non-exclusive franchise tag by the Ravens, quarterback Lamar Jackson's now free to negotiate with teams. There are some organizations who quickly, publicly announce that they'll pass when it comes to a chance at the former NFL MVP. Among them, the Commanders, Falcons, Dolphins, and Panthers. That doesn't sit well with ESPN's Ryan Clark.
This man is one of the top quarterbacks in the league. This man is one of the best athletes in the league. This man is a leader, which is why all those dudes in the locker room are coming out in support of him. So all these teams that are all of a sudden publicly out of the Lamar chase, just tell me you're colluding without telling me you're colluding.
Ryan Clark on First Take. The Ravens have the right to match any offer sheet that Jackson signs. If not, they will receive 2 first-round picks as compensation from the team he winds up with. NBA, big night in Phoenix tonight as Kevin Durant will make his Suns' home debut versus the Thunder. Phoenix with Durant in the lineup is 3-0 so far, and KD and Devin Booker have combined for 188 points in those 3 games together.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on a Wednesday. ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Jeremy Greene's in a good mood. He's doing a little dance.
Oh, I'm not. I'm angry.
I was going to say, did you hear something about the Aaron Rodgers trip?
No, I've heard a word, and that word is making me just really angry.
Really antsy.
Would you like to guess what that word is? I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with illusion, and it starts with a K.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into all of it here in the Sportsocracy here on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Of course, the Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on the topics of the day, which are, Do we have the opening drive music? Okay, let's hit that. The opening drive always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. 629 Brevard Road is the address. Just go to andersonnissan.com as well, and you can check out their stock of brand new or certified pre-owned vehicles. Mention the Sportsocracy to them when you go in to make your deal, and they'll give you $250 bonus on your trade-in.
I am currently in a Pro 4X fire engine red Nissan Titan that I can't guarantee you that you're going to get the shot to buy. But there is we get you one. It probably not going to be the one I'm driving because I want it. I want to own it. It's got the red stitching and the red on the wheels, and love this truck. Everywhere I go, people are like, "What is that? And why is it so beautiful?" It's a Nissan Titan. Fred Anderson Nissan Asheville. Go to 629 Brevard Road. Tell them the formerly fat guys from the Sportsocracy sent you.
And then when they say, "What is that?" you can go, "Duh, big red truck."
Boom.
Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, 629 Brevard Road, AndersonNissan.com. Yes, so the word of the day, ladies, so like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse, we got to go, word of the day is collusion. Like, come on, guys. We've talked about this time and time again. Like, just because there is an overarching common thought in the league does not mean that it's collusion. And that's where everybody's landing, or well, not everybody. That's where some people in the media business are landing right now with Lamar Jackson. Because yesterday you would expect the non-exclusive franchise tag gets applied to Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. So now other teams can jump in, and instead of having the public feeding frenzy of, "Oh my God, Lamar Jackson's available!" every team that you think would be in this game went, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, let me play a fun game of cutting through your stupid argument in as few steps as humanly possible. 1, Adam Schefter said this on your network today. I said it 5 seconds after the tag came out. You do realize that ties your money up, right? It's kind of a pain to deal with these offer sheets because then you're really just doing the contract for Baltimore. That's helping them, and it ties up your cap space for 7 days. But that's collusion. We're colluding. That's what you sound like. Every time I hear that, it's collusion. Do you know what goes into collusion? All right, when you see that in the corporate landscape, that means dozens of very wealthy people went, we're going to conspire to keep other people from making money. But for why do you do that? Because it makes you money. Could you please explain to me how it helps Arthur Blank of the Atlanta Falcons to not sign Lamar Jackson? Could you please explain to me how that's good for him in any way? Do you think PSLs and season tickets would go through the roof if he signed Lamar Jackson? Because I do. I think that's a lot more tantalizing than Desmond Ridder. Tennessee Titans, which one would you rather see opening day, September 9th in Nashville, Tennessee? Lamar Jackson versus Trevor Lawrence. We'll go with that one because they're in the division.
Right.
Or Trevor Lawrence comes to Nashville to beat the squirt out of Malik Willis. One of those is a lot more sellable than the other.
Absolutely, but it's not just about making money for the owners. It's about saving money as well and how they run their teams. And, you know, we all knew it. When the Deshaun Watson thing happened, when the fully guaranteed contract came out, we had the discussion on this here program about who's next, who could get the next deal. It doesn't really make sense for everybody. It really didn't even make sense for Cleveland.
Cleveland was desperate.
In a way, it did because, I looked at them pretty much like I'm looking at the New York Jets right now. Like, if this Aaron Rodgers thing doesn't happen, you New York Jets and Jets fans, you need to storm the Capitol or what? Can I say that? Is that too insensitive? Or are we still... Is it too soon?
Did you go full Tucker Carlson on me?
I think I did.
Let's go. We're just choosing violence today, and I'm here for it.
But yeah, we go full on we're going up to the front desk of Woody Johnson, and we are demanding that you bring us a quarterback.
Well, let me be really honest with you. As a pretty well-connected with the New York Jets feller, I can tell you when they came out of that restaurant last night, they all looked like they had seen Beetlejuice. Or Tupac and Biggie sitting at the table next to it. They saw something that they really didn't like, or that picture was horribly timed.
It could have been horribly timed. You don't know. The straight faces on Woody Johnson and Rob Saleh may have just been bad timing.
Robert Saleh looked like me after every sensitivity training I've ever been to. Like, that was a lot of words, and I'm not 100% sure I got them all.
But I'll be honest with you. Like, if I'm the GM of X team and I go in with a meeting with Aaron Rodgers and it goes really well and I think there's a chance that we might land him, I'm coming out of that room looking like a Cheshire cat. I have no poker face. Like, I'm just walking out looking like the fat kid that just found a cookie in his pocket.
So like you do every day.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
Pretty much. That's just my sunny disposition.
Well,
but still, you would think that there would be some joy on the faces of those gentlemen coming out if they had reached a deal. May not be a great sign, but all I'm saying is if you don't get Aaron Rodgers, you are in Cleveland Browns territory.
And just as somebody that's in that territory, I can tell you, this is not real fun, okay? This ain't great because this is a great big game of musical chairs. And the first chair has already been thrown out the window to the New Orleans Saints. So if you're telling me right now that you actually think NFL owners are colluding against Lamar Jackson, you are out of your mind. Now, that's the first level. Now let's go to level 2, shall we? And Adam Schefter said this on Get Up this morning, and I went, no, that is mine.
Uh-oh.
Think about who you're asking. I mean, I really can't believe I'm having to explain this. Me, the media outsider that got here because I make chuckles and have a mullet and I make people laugh. It really makes me sad that I'm having to explain this to veteran media people. What do you think they were going to say? Because who do you think they asked? They asked the GM. They asked the assistant GM, one of the directors of scouting, somebody of that level, somebody that they were connected with in the building. Mm-hmm. Are you going to chase Lamar Jackson? What do you think they were going to say? Yeah, but frankly, we all just took $5 million pay cuts to make sure we had enough money because we don't have a lot. How stupid are you?
Because what happens when you strike out?
Exactly.
Right. What happens when you strike out? If you're Scott Fitterer and David Newton from ESPN comes to you and says, "Are you chasing Lamar Jackson?" Your reaction is not going to be, "Hell yeah, we're going to give it our best go, and we're going to make sure that he's a Carolina Panther." What happens when he's not?
Because the second you say that, they're going to go report it.
LMNO fired.
So what's easier for me? What is easier for me? I can talk to Lamar on the 13th, and none of you know. Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Deflect.
I call the agent, "Are you interested in my team, yes or no?" If that answer is yes, all of a sudden, on March 14th, while we're in the legal tampering period, maybe we're a little quick on the draw the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe they're in. Maybe the Raiders are in. Maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in. Maybe the Miami Dolphins are in. And that's exactly how it's going to go. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because we don't have anything to talk about. I don't know if it's because – and that's entirely possible. This is a dead time of year.
Very true.
And college basketball ain't helping us a whole lot.
I mean, come on. We could be talking about the banger matchups in the ACC tournament right now.
Oh, yeah. There's two guys that play for Boston College that look like – I think I played them at a YMCA. I'm not sure I couldn't average 6 points in the ACC right now.
And you can,
which is saying a lot.
And you can hear those two gentlemen take on the UNC Tar Heels this evening right here on ESPN Asheville. Coverage will start at 6 o'clock immediately when we are done. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock in Greensboro. Speaking of Greensboro, I just got to get this out of the way. Bye, Jim Boeheim.
That didn't last long.
Oh, I just love Jim Boeheim. Had to suck it up one more time and come down to Greensboro and get his kicked. I mean, not really. They lost on a last-second shot, but give it up to Steve Forbes. He's apparently been had his guys practicing that Ryan Arcidiacono, Chris Jenkins play from the Final Four that beat Carolina, because that was the play that they beat Syracuse with today. But Syracuse, going home after one day.
So which was practiced more? That play by Wake Forest, or you saying Ryan Arcidiacono's name?
Me saying Ryan Arcidiacono's.
There you go.
Yep.
See, and I knew if I made you do it again that you'd boo-boo kitty it. So everybody else could hear the fun game of speak and spell that I got to hear earlier while you were trying to do this.
He did. I said what they were practicing that Ryan Diarganacolo. What was his name? I hate that guy.
It wasn't good.
The ACC tournament's going on right now. We're not talking about that because, I mean, yes, there's not a lot to talk about, but still, you would have thought. And see, this is where I think Lamar Jackson has screwed up in this whole scenario. He doesn't have an agent, and I think having an agent would really help him in this scenario.
I've heard this.
At least to calm the storm of the public narrative. Now, I get he doesn't. Does it really matter what the public narrative is? No, the teams are going to investigate. They're going to give him the call. They're going to talk to him, whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like you're taking a lot of lumps where you shouldn't necessarily have.
So who's taking lumps?
Lamar.
How is Lamar taking lumps here? Lamar didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Lamar wants to be paid. He's taking no lumps here. Baltimore's taking quite a few. I don't really know why.
You don't think it sways public opinion one way or the other when all of this is out there about the guaranteed money and he refuses to negotiate and all that stuff?
He's not refusing to negotiate. We've been doing this for 2 solid years. They're way off because Lamar Jackson wants to be paid like an MVP quarterback, and Baltimore wants to pay him like a guy that's missed a third of their games in the last 2 years. It's not hard to figure out. It's also not hard to figure out why one of the smartest teams in the NFL went, go see what the market will bear out, because there's not a deal out there that's going to be fully guaranteed. Bob Brown has a very good point. He's got the NFLPA helping him because his mother is technically his agent. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make this as clear as I can. When it comes to Lamar, if the market was what he thought it was, I could be his agent. It wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Language, things like that, I have ways to get around that. Here's the problem. Lamar is the first player we've seen in a long, long time where the number that you see, the Twitter number, the years and the total money, they are light years apart. An agent's not solving that.
No, but an agent would help him understand what the market is, as was mentioned in our comments here.
We got to take a break. The agent side of this has been ruffling my feathers all day because I'm not sure what it is that you guys think that agent's going to say. I just watched Deshaun Watson get a fully guaranteed deal.
Mm-hmm.
Fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
You're throwing in rational, and most people are not rational about themselves. And I got an example that I think will draw this in and make you go, okay, the agent thing's not that big a deal. We have a much bigger problem here. Tell you what that is after the break.
Okay. Well, you are right here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you'd get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented wave technology on the sole that gently massages your feet while you're walking around. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Lamar Jackson. He wants the guaranteed contract, but for now he's got to shop himself, or other teams have to come to him to make him an offer on this non-exclusive franchise tag from the Baltimore Ravens. I believe if he had an agent, maybe this process would be easier on him. Havoc said in our YouTube comments, you can comment as well. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Havoc says that an agent helps him set his expectations properly of how much he would actually get. So instead of holding out with the Baltimore Ravens and wanting the fully guaranteed contract, would an agent not be able to say, this may not be the best path for you? The market's soft.
Okay, first of all, I have to do this again because it wasn't loud enough when I did it the first time.
I'm your huckleberry.
There you
That's what means you've said something very wise around this here program. I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
And it has an agent, and it has a person, and it has something that they value way more than everybody else does.
Okay.
You ever sold a house?
Yeah.
Okay. So you take your house. You love your house. You have poured all your blood, sweat, time, money, energy, tears, everything into this house. You hire a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
And the agent pulls comps and all these other things and says, this is what your house is worth. How often do you listen to the real estate agent? And how often do you go, I am not selling my house for $279,000. This house is worth $389,000. No, it's not. So how does the real estate – I wish I could get Clarissa Marshall on the phone right now to go, yeah, is this happening to time for 5? And what you're about to say is exactly right. How do you get around that? List it.
Mm-hmm.
List the house.
Mm-hmm.
If you list that house at $389,000 that's worth $299,000, what are you going to get? A slew of offers that are $50,000 below what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize, because the market has bared it out, this house is not worth what I think it is. And then you have to come to the realization, is it worth it for me to sell this for $329,000 or $309,000 or $299,000? Or do I just hold on to it? Do I just do what I'm doing? That's exactly what the Baltimore Ravens just did to Lamar. You think you're worth more than you are. I would argue, I don't necessarily think the final number is the problem. It's the guarantee. And if he goes out into the market, is there a team desperate enough to give him what Deshaun Watson got from the Cleveland Browns? Is there a roster that is that good that is a Lamar Jackson away from a Super Bowl?
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Exactly.
There's one.
The New York Jets.
The New York Jets.
I walked you right down this path for a reason.
Absolutely.
Because Lamar might be the guy that randomly gets that crazy offer and goes, see, I told you I was worth that, because Baltimore will go, cool.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. As far as the Atlanta Falcons are concerned and the Tennessee Titans and the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Tennessee Titans are not a Lamar Jackson away. Now, could they do it? Sure, because they got a ton of money.
I don't feel like any of these teams are. That was the point that I was, with Scott Fitterer saying that, we have been talking about the possibility, but we're probably not whatever he said. We're probably not in the market. I think one source, unnamed source from inside the Panthers headquarters, said that he was out of our price range or something to that effect.
He's out of most teams' price range.
I get it. It doesn't make sense for the Carolina Panthers, for the Atlanta Falcons, anybody. There's one team. There's one suitor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers that roster is good enough. The problem is that you would have to start an OnlyFans selling feet pictures to get to a price that you could pay Lamar Jackson. That's the only way you're going to do it.
And I'm all about it. I mean, they wouldn't pay that to see my feet.
No. As a man that's seen you take a shoe off, no. I'll give you $4 to put them bad boys back on.
It was the opposable digit that made you kind of, I don't know about that.
Yeah, if you got 10 toes and one of them is just, it didn't follow, it's following MapQuest and let it right into a creek.
I'm the evolutionary link between humans and the planet of the apes.
Well, yeah, you got some feet that are really unsettling. But, I mean, that's what Baltimore's doing here. This is not as big a story as everybody's making it. It's really not. This is Baltimore going, you know what? We think we know what you're going to find. Because what does Steve Bisciotti do every single year? Go to the owners' meetings.
Mm-hmm.
2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
What has every owner said? We could absolutely kill Jimmy Haslam for what he gave Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. Because we knew this was coming. I've told you this for a year. This is coming. And somebody's going to break the ice. The only thing is that Cincinnati and the Chargers and the Philadelphia Eagles, they all have time. Baltimore doesn't have time. They tried to buy time in the hopes that one of these other guys would sign. They didn't. So now what have they had to do? Now I have to call your bluff. I still hold all of the cards. If you go out into the market and find a deal that you are happy with and we can stomach it, we will match it. And you will come back here and everything will be hunky-dunky because according to what you have said, you want to be in Baltimore. We're good then.
Mm-hmm.
You go find the contract, they write up the language, we match it, hunky-dunky. If you get a deal that we're not comfortable with, we'll take 2 first-round picks. We're the best drafting team in the league. And Lamar, we love you. Thank you for all the great years. One day your number may very well be in the honorable mention Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
And bye. But that's where this is.
And I think where this all hinges also for teams to get involved in this is, okay, we might have a number in mind. We might have a number in mind, whatever it is, say it's $210 million, whatever. Just this nebulous figure out here that we're comfortable paying Lamar and we think that he would take this deal. Okay, if I'm not at Deshaun Watson level, if I'm not at that $230 million or $240 or pushing $250, Baltimore is comfortable. We're comfortable, but won't Baltimore be comfortable? So why am I doing the legwork for Baltimore? When I could just turn around, do all this work, do all this negotiating with Lamar, come up with a contract that we're all good with, and Baltimore goes, nope, that's mine.
Case and point. That's why every one of these teams said we're not interested, because we don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, because you got to think about the backside of this. All right, give me any team that – stay away from the Jets because that's Zach Wilson. The Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
They go down this rabbit hole with Lamar Jackson. I go through the headache that Baltimore has gone through for 2 years. I get over all of the objections in 3 days because that's how long you have. Legal tampering period is Monday. Free agency starts on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy's
birthday is on Thursday. Heavy drinking starts on Friday because that's St. Patrick's Day because God had a plan when he birthed me.
Let's go.
It's next week's schedule, just in case you were curious. So I'm going to get over all these hurdles in 3 days. And all Baltimore has to do is come in and go, nope, good.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
That exact contract conveys to the Baltimore Ravens, and you have taken away all of my headache.
Yep.
Where's the incentive for me to do that?
If
I'm the Atlanta Falcons, now I have to go back to Desmond Ridder and say, I was willing to pay $250 million completely guaranteed dollars to not have you play quarterback. LMNO in trouble. Not fired yet, but you're in trouble because now you have a really uncomfortable conversation.
And that's fine.
This is like
I can move on.
This is like having Tinder. But Desmond Ritter's not necessarily the best example. But
I don't know. I wouldn't be worried about hurting Desmond Ritter's feelings.
I'm not gonna lie to you. At this point,
whose feelings?
This is the NFL version of Tinder.
Yeah.
Like I've swiped right 1,000,000 times.
Whose feelings?
How many matches do you have? None. I feel bad about me now. Yay.
Yeah. If it was
thanks, cell phones.
If it was the Raiders, whose feelings are getting hurt? Chase Garbers?
Jared Stidham.
Nah, he's not even under contract with him.
He will be.
Look, of course it's not going to be the Raiders because the Raiders didn't even have enough money to fire a coach. So
well, they have enough money to sign Jared Stidham. Okay, Mark Davis probably has that in his couch.
No, what I'm saying in the Lamar Jackson race.
No,
I've heard that. What about the Las Vegas Raiders? Yeah, they're not. They're not liquid enough.
Just since we've almost gotten through, the word of the day is collusion. I have to say this because I've heard this a couple times too. Is Steve Bisciotti even liquid enough to give this contract to Lamar? Yeah, he is. There may be 2 teams in the NFL that would run into that problem.
I didn't know that was a question.
Oh, I've heard that on every major show. It's yet to be like a big topic. Do you know how much money Steve Bisciotti is worth?
No.
His net worth, not to the best of what I saw, not including the team, is $6 billion. I think he'll be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can cut a check for $75 million and put another $175 in escrow.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Now, the Arizona Cardinals, they can't even give their players, they can't even pay for dinner. So maybe the Cardinals have that problem. That's something else we've got to get into before this show's over.
What?
That NFLPA report card.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there were some gems in that.
Okay.
There are just some gems.
We will do that. We'll also have You're Just a Bit Outside coming up after the break here. Also going to get into a new series that we're going to run for the next few days. People have complained that we talk too much about the NFL and we don't talk enough about other sports. Well, frankly, there's one big reason why we don't talk about any of the other sports is because, well,
you don't watch them in large part.
You don't watch them. But,
and every time we say that, somebody goes, well, I do. Well, I mean, there's somebody that watches squirrel skiing. So,
right.
You got to pander to more of the masses here, which is what the NFL does.
But for the most part, other professional sports, not even professional sports, we can go college ranks too, are broken. Mm-hmm. There's things about the game that just make it less. So, over the coming days, we're going to be taking an individual sport, and we're going to fix it, because that's what we do.
And basically the way this is going to go, we have each come up with a plan of how to fix every sport. And we're going to go name that tune style of who can do it in the fewest steps.
Huh.
And today, we start with the National Basketball Association. And I don't feel like you can beat me.
Okay, it's all coming your way here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty big change up to the weather scene for mid-March. Next week, we could see some below freezing 20s. Nighttime low temps Monday night, Tuesday night, long range. We're at 37 tonight in the valley. Mostly cloudy Thursday, high 62, low 45. Some rain coming in Thursday night, Friday. Friday's high 60 degrees. And then a cooler pattern for the weekend with high temps in the 40s and 50s this weekend. More rain Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. For your guaranteed biggest refund and 50% off tax prep, switch to Jackson Hewitt. 50% off is a limited-time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
The winter blues are almost behind us, and we can't wait to get out of the house and be more active. If your achy joints don't agree, time to do something about it. Now there's a better way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This exciting approach uses healing properties from your own body, highly concentrated and then placed directly in your achy joint. It can restore and repair that damaged tissue and get you moving again without pain. Knee, back, shoulder, or hip pain. The patient satisfaction reports are incredible, and there's no downtime. Listen, the old ways of dealing with joint pain are no longer the only ways. If they're telling you that you need surgery, do yourself a favor and call QC Kinetics. Learn more about this wildly popular, all-natural alternative way to get lasting pain relief. No surgery, no drugs. The call is free. The consultation is free. You have nothing to lose. Call QC Kinetics now. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greeneville. That's 828-333-9517.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days, but at Ingles, we know that a lot of our heroes are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that, and that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside, and the XFL, they're doing stuff. They're doing. Did you even know? Did you even know that the primetime game over the weekend, the ending was marred by fiasco,
by Contra
and melee?
Wait. Was it collusion?
It was not collusion.
Ah!
It was not collusion. So the DC Defenders, and who was it they were playing? It doesn't matter. The
West Virginia Waterfalls.
Maybe. It might have been the West Virginia Waterfalls. Anyway, they were playing this weekend. It's a close game down to the end. A sack ended the game, or was the penultimate play of the game. And then the players got chippy, and they started throwing punches and shoving around, and nobody cared. Nobody noticed, and nobody cared. Like, if this had happened in the NFL on Sunday Night Football, and the game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns had ended with dudes throwing punches, it'd have been all over the place. But here's the thing. No one cares about the XFL. I think it's hilarious. People say, "Oh, the XFL, the USFL, we need a minor league system for football." Do we? I don't feel that we do, because we've done this time after time after time after time, and what happens every time? These leagues make no money, they draw no eyeballs, and they fold up very quickly.
I have said the way to make minor league football work is find a way to tie it into the NFL.
And maybe that would work. Maybe if you had practice squad guys on the DC Defenders, then maybe you would watch for a half a second. But nobody's watching these games. Over the weekend, the Week 3 games averaged a grand total of...
all combined?
The average viewership for each of the games.
217,000.
Ooh, he went low. I was expecting you to get a little closer. I mean, it's not a whole lot more than that. It's 571,000.
Do you know what that means?
What's that?
That means the XFL outrates the average regular season NHL game. That's what you just said. That's what it means.
I don't know that really surprises me all that much, because I'm not a hockey guy, and you can't get me to watch hockey. I've tried several times. But 571,000 viewers is what the Week 3 games averaged on FX and ESPN2. It's 13% viewership drop from the Week 2 games of FX, ESPN, and ESPN2. So the XFL and ESPN have come up with a solution that they think might help the viewership. They're changing the broadcast schedule. So now March 16th, they are going to have that Thursday night game between Houston and Seattle. It will no longer be on FX. They're moving it to the mothership. Putting it on ESPN is going to really drive home. I mean, because what are they going to do? ESPN doesn't have any. Have you ever watched ESPN during tournament weekend? There's nothing going on. I mean, it's just update after update after update. Now, there may be some, that may be the best path for ESPN, because I feel like they'll lose viewership to CBS and all of the, True TV and all of that.
I don't know how much they're going to lose this year.
Well, maybe not this year, but
hey, what time does Duke
generally
play?
Speaking.
About Carolina?
So that the March 16th game is one of 3 games that they have now moved. One of them being moved to ABC, national television broadcast.
Let's go.
Ugh. Moving the games is not going to help.
It will help.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody cares.
It has every having more people that can physically watch it will certainly boost the number. The only problem is that it will absolutely crush your market share, because if more people watch it and a bigger percentage doesn't watch it, then oh boy, this is not good. Speaking of this is not good, there are certain things that people say that just absolutely make me want to pull my hair out. One of them is a phrase that we hear about once a year. Mm-hmm. The Georgia Bulldogs could beat the Houston Texans. That is the stupidest thing you will ever say out loud. If Georgia took the field against Houston right now, they would lose 63-6. And the only reason they would score twice is because they'd kick 2 field goals from about 55 yards out. Stop saying that. The other thing that people say that really irks me is I really understand the NFL because I play a lot of Madden. Well, we just had somebody in the NFL say that very same thing. And that person is Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski, who was on the Pardon My Take podcast and said, honestly, I grew up playing Madden. I really believe our generation is a little better at game management because we've done that. We know when we're down 10, I'm going to kick the field goal, and then I'm going to go get the onside. I'm going to get the 7 later. I do think all those games, I know it sounds silly. I do think that helps when it comes to game management. Silly. So let me, Kev, let me see if I can paraphrase what you've said here. Basically, you needed a video game to teach you how to math. That's what you just said. You just said, kick the field goal, then go get the outside, go get 7 later. So you needed Madden to teach you that 10 minus 3 equals 7.
Look, Kevin Stefanski's already on another level. So I talk about you thinking in 3D chess all the time. He's already on another level with me because I can't tell you how many times I've played Madden or a college football game or whatever and went, oh, crap, it's halftime. I wasn't even looking at the clock. Because it's a video game. I don't care.
This would be the time in the program, since Madden was referenced, that I, again, welcome all comers.
He's throwing down the gauntlet again.
To get this smoke. Come get this smoke.
He wants to hurt your feelings. Have you ever, who was it in the chat that was challenging you?
Oh, I know Gage did at one point.
Did you ever hook up with him?
To be honest with you, I haven't been home in about 2 weeks, so even if he sent me the request, I wouldn't know. The only time I have actually been able to play video games was for Brian Haynes to catch these hands in some 2K. Also a game where you will catch all of this smoke.
Mm-hmm. So Kevin Stefanski thinks we learned clock management from Madden.
I'm also pretty sure he thinks that if he was if he's played enough Call of Duty, he could also be a Navy SEAL.
Andrew Smith in the comments on YouTube says, anytime you're ready, big boy. I added the big boy.
Had to make sure the bell's closer to the mic then.
He says he wants all that smoke. Yeah, I've got nothing for Kevin Stefanski. Like, that is like one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard.
Satisfied Browns fan said he wasn't sober. So just, okay. And that's entirely possible. The Pardon My Take guys do seem like people that would be fun to consume a domestic light or 5 with. So.
Okay. All right. Patrick Holt says the only Madden I played was on the Wii.
Okay, what you just told me is that you would catch that Cumberland smoke of 22 to nothing.
Oh, absolutely. There's no other way that's going down. Ugh. So, are you getting Aaron Rodgers or what?
Well, I know we're trying. I know we're here. So, one of the things that we didn't talk about yesterday with the Jets getting permission to talk to Aaron Rodgers, there's a low-key part of that we didn't acknowledge.
What's that?
That means the Jets and the Packers have agreed to what it would cost to get him. The only way that you ever do that is by agreeing to the compensation.
Okay. Maybe.
So that means that those two teams have talked, and they have come to a consensus of you can have Aaron Rodgers for the cost of
whatever.
Blank. I think it's the 13th pick in the draft, and if I was the New York Jets, I would go, here, you have that.
That's it. Just 13th pick of the draft, and it's over.
I just can't physically believe that it's going to be more than that. I mean, he's 39 years old.
I would imagine. I mean, I don't know.
I
don't know.
And you also got to realize Baltimore kind of housed you here, too, because I can have Lamar Jackson for the price of 2 first-rounders and 1 stupid contract.
See,
and I'm going to have to be real stupid with that contract for them to not match it.
To me, that's the best path forward for you. But
well, I mean, and Havoc asked in the YouTube chat, would I prefer Rodgers over Lamar? Let me make this as I get asked this question a lot. So let me make this as clear as I can. I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if it's Lamar Jackson. I don't care if it's Aaron Jackson. I don't care if it's Lamar Rodgers. I don't care who the quarterback is. As long as it's not Zach Wilson, I don't care. I can't do that again. I can't. Me and Cherub Boy, I've spent 2 years hoping that he would be a living, breathing NFL quarterback. Woody Johnson comes out and says, I will spend any amount of money to get the veteran quarterback. Okay. But you can't sell me on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're not going to sell me on one of these Kmart solutions. It's just no. I want a big boy NFL quarterback. No, not Ryan Tannehill.
No, what sells? Lamar Jackson will sell.
I don't care about sell. I want to win. I want to win, period. Whether that's with Aaron Rodgers for 2 years and then 2 years from now I got to figure it out, I do not care.
Mm-hmm.
All right? This is the best roster this team's had in years. We've had 1 season of all-pro level quarterback in 50 years. I don't care which one it is.
You just, whatever it costs, do it.
If you told me right now it's $250 guaranteed for Lamar and your first round of this year, first round of next year, I couldn't do it fast enough. I could not do it fast enough.
100%.
If you told me I could have Aaron Rodgers for the contract as it sits now, Green Bay picks up that $40 million in dead cap, and I give you 13 this year and Zach Wilson. Done. Can't do it fast enough.
What if it was 13 this year and a 2 and a 3?
Probably no.
Probably no. You're out at the draft
because
capital.
That's the other thing that Green Bay, every Green Bay fan that asks me this, you don't seem to understand that there are no other bidders here. All right, Aaron Rodgers has 3 paths.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay, New York Jets, retire. That's it. The Raiders can't pay him, don't want to. They're in love with rookies. I've heard this from every person that so much has been in Las Vegas that works in the NFL. They're in on a rookie. So the only landing spot for him is with the Jets. So I'm not going to bid against myself. If you want rid of him this bad, I will give you the 13th pick in this draft, which is, it was yesterday we went to the mock draft, is Brian Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good with that? Because you should be. You should be. You get 1 year of Jordan Love. You get to acquiesce a lot of headaches. And if Jordan Love is your quarterback, a year from now you have to do the Daniel Jones thing where he earns an extension that you're probably going to overpay, but at least you didn't waste a first-round pick. If it's not him, a year from now you can get Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers, or Drake May. I am fixing a problem for you, so I am not going to overpay to do this. Because I'll be honest with you, here's the thing nobody's talked about. I'm not 100% sure Green Bay would welcome him back at this point. I'm not sure that toothpaste is not out of the tube.
Nah, I can't buy that. I think they would. They would. I mean, because you just can't.
Then why did you let him fly? Then why did you let the Jets fly to California to meet him?
Because if you think you're going to get the deal, then you're going to get the deal.
Are you doing that for 1 first-round pick?
I don't know that I am.
Then you would not have sent the Jets out there to meet with him because everything I've been told is they are not coming off.
Because that's all that is.
They're not coming off that. Joe Douglas is a draft guy. He knows he's bidding against himself. So if you agreed to the compensation, that's how we started this segment. You're not letting another team meet with your guy if you haven't agreed to that part.
Mm-hmm.
No team's done it in the last 15 years. Doesn't make sense to do it. All right, so because then you're opening yourself up to another problem. All right, the Jets go in there and really convince him that that's where he wants to be, and then you can't agree on trade compensation. Okay, that's another reason for you to hate me.
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So that's an interesting tentacle to me, but I do feel like the Jets have overplayed their hand.
Okay.
When you had Derek Carr still a free agent, you had some leverage here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a lot of leverage now. I mean, you can say I'm saying this from the Jet fan, from the draft guy perspective, whatever standpoint you want to say I'm saying this from, you cannot sell this fan base on Jimmy Garoppolo.
No.
You will have a mutiny in the parking lot of MetLife.
But again, that's what I said. You could sell him on Lamar, and that's.
But you got to understand the discrepancy in the cost there. And that kind of goes to what Havoc asked me. Would I rather have Aaron Rodgers, who against the cap is going to cost me $40-some-odd million for the next 2 years combined, because so much of that stays with Green Bay, and I give up 13, or do I want to give up $250 million? Looking at my roster, going, how many of these guys am I going to lose every single year, and give up 2 ones? I think that's closer than people think it is.
Okay, all right. I mean, I just look at paying Aaron Rodgers as opposed to having a lengthy contract with Lamar. It's not even close to me, and I go after Lamar.
But you're doing it in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got to add in all the things that you lose. Would you rather have Aaron Rodgers with C.J. Mosley, with Carl Lawson, with DJ Reed, who's going to come up in 2 years? Because if you got Lamar, you can't afford to pay him.
Yep.
So now you're gutting the team for the quarterback.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's Bangers of the Night coming up next.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingles, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingles.
See you later, Dad.
All the ingredients for family.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
Today on Hey Culligan, sustainability and better water. Here's Sam.
Hey Culligan, I'm really into sustainability. My clothes, my utensils, my food. But how do I get more sustainability from my water?
Super question, Sam, and the answer is an always-on drinking water system from Culligan, which helps eliminate the equivalent of 15 billion single-use plastic bottles a year.
Whoa, that's a ton of sustainability.
416,000 tons, Sam, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you'd get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented wave technology on the sole that gently massages your feet while you're walking around. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
I was totally prepared to come in here and celebrate my 5-0 night against the spread until I remembered that over with the Sixers and the Wolves. That continues a season of confusing losses, but we'll take 4-1. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we'll stick in the NBA again tonight. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The Washington Wizards are a 4-point dog tonight at home against the Atlanta Hawks. Misconceptions are a fun way to wager the NBA. The public always leans on teams when they face someone on the second night of a back-to-back, which is what we have here tonight with the Hawks. This line isn't getting any smaller and might even grow between now and tip-off. But the Wizards are one of the best teams in the league on the second night of a back-to-back, going 8-4 in such occasions this year. Why? Because no one on the team plays more than 38 minutes, and they're one of the youngest teams in the league. Factor that in with the fact that Atlanta is only 3-7 against the spread as a road favorite this year, and this has banger written all over it. The public has this one wrong, and I'm going to hammer the Wizards +4. Next, the Miami Heat are a 2.5-point dog at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers, over under 215.5. Okay, what am I missing here? Jimmy Butler is the one player that has really slowed down Cavaliers guard Donovan Mitchell this year, and I'm just not seeing the firepower for 215.5. Last 5 between these two have averaged under 210, and somehow this line has swelled all day since debuting at 212.5. These two play ugly every time they square off, and I don't see a reason they won't do the same tonight. Now, for who wins, Miami's built to beat this Cleveland team, and they're at home catching points. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are great defenders, but they leave a lot to be desired on the offensive end, and tonight they get one of the best defenders in the league in Bam Adebayo. This comes down to Mitchell Butler for me, and I give Jimmy Butler the comfortable advantage when it comes to playing both sides of the court. Give me the Heat +2.5. They win outright and under the 215.5. And finally, my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets are a 9-point favorite at home tonight against the Chicago Bulls. Over-unders 225. You care to tell me who's going to keep Nikola Jokic from doing anything and everything he wants tonight? Nikola Vucevic and Andre Drummond are significantly worse defenders away from the basket, and that is where Joker will spend most of his time tonight. This is a complete mismatch on paper, and I think it's going to be one in television sets tonight. Denver's 30-4 at home this year, and the Bulls are god-awful away from the Windy City. Frankly, they aren't that good in it, now that I think about it. This has boat race written all over it, and even if it stays close, I don't see how the Bulls are going to score consistently. Give me the Nuggets +9, under the 225. For more, follow us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Greene on Greene is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty big change up to the weather scene for mid-March. Next week, we could see some below freezing 20s. Nighttime low temps Monday night, Tuesday night, long range. We're at 37 tonight in the valley. Mostly cloudy Thursday, high 62, low 45. Some rain coming in Thursday night, Friday. Friday's high 60 degrees. And then a cooler pattern for the weekend with high temps in the 40s and 50s this weekend. More rain Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Reset your rest at Mattress Firm's Big Spring Sale. Shop top brands today and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select purchases. Time to score big savings on your dream bed.
Everyone loves TV Dad.
On the next TV Dad, presented by Progressive, TV Dad meets the prom date.
So you're here to take my daughter out, huh?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm only going to say this once. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Oh, I thought you were going to say take care of my little girl or something.
She's a kickboxer. She could take care of herself.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right price. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
It's the Woody Show.
Hello.
Rod Ryan Show. Check it in.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
Alter Ego. Are you ready?
All of the best free curated playlists.
My favorite music.
A little bit of everything. All of the great podcasts for every interest.
Stuff they don't want you to know.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
And best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Kevin Durant and the Suns look to keep their roll going tonight when he makes his home debut with his new team versus the Thunder. Phoenix has won all 3 games with KD in the lineup, and in those 3 games, he and Devin Booker have combined for 188 points. We'll find out. That was the response of Jets owner Woody Johnson when asked if Aaron Rodgers would be coming to the Jets. Johnson and members of New York's front office were in California yesterday meeting with the 4-time NFL MVP. The Jets have been having conversations with the Packers and Rodgers regarding a potential trade to New York. If Rodgers does decide he wants to play elsewhere, the Jets do make perfect sense, believes ESPN's Herm Edwards.
He understands who the play caller is. He understands that the play caller is going to put him in a position to be successful. Look, Aaron Rodgers, we can say what we want about him, but the one thing he will do when he walks between those lines, he likes to compete. He goes to New York. He understands the pressure that's about to be put on him by going to New York. He likes that.
Herm Edwards on Get Up. Rodgers is contemplating whether to return to Green Bay, ask for a trade, or retire.
Get ready for Champions, the hilarious new movie starring Woody Harrelson. Woody's a hot-headed basketball coach who's in over his head when he's court-ordered to manage a team with intellectual disabilities and a whole lot of attitude. Champions, only in theaters Friday. Rated PG-13.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And the Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. You can also see us on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Don't forget, when you go to the YouTube channel, click the subscribe button so you can join us in the chat.
We've still got a doozy of 2 hours. We're getting ready to fix the NBA. As we said in the last hour, over the next few days, we're going to play a fun game of Fix That Sport, much the way you play Name That Tune. We both have come up with plans, and one of us, whoever can do it in the fewest steps, wins. And today, we start with the NBA.
That's right. We've also got some off-season previews to continue as the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants still are up next on our list of off-season previews in the NFL. I'm sure Flostradamus will figure out how to get some draft content in here before the show is over.
Oh, draft mystery, oh, draft mystery.
But Jeremy and I got to talking before the show today, and we were talking about the ACC tournament, these college basketball tournaments. SoCon was great. ACC has been a down conference this year, and I think that's putting it mildly. I mean, you can say the ACC has been atrocious.
Yes, they may not have a team in the second weekend.
Right.
That's very much on the table.
Right. Like, how many ACC teams in a successful season get to the Sweet 16? 5? Somewhere in that neighborhood?
4. Yeah, 5 that's high.
If you have one,
you should count your blessings.
Right. Miami seems to be the strongest out of this field. But then that got us to talking about, well, what's wrong with college basketball? And Jeremy, you had the opinion that maybe it's the NBA. Maybe the NBA is hurting college basketball more than college basketball is hurting itself. But I can't get into the NBA. I really can't. I was a big NBA fan as a kid. Loved watching the Charlotte Hornets, even though they never won anything. They were still fun to watch. It was still considered team basketball, fundamental basketball, and all of that. And I think that's a big problem that the NBA has, that has gone by the wayside. So how do we fix the NBA? Well, I feel like I've got a plan, an 8-step plan to fix the NBA.
I can do it in 7.
7? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll go 6.
I can do it in 5.
Okay. Jeremy Greene, fix that sport.
So there is a misnomer that nobody plays defense in the NBA. That's just, it's not true. There are teams, you just heard me in the last segment talking about Miami and Cleveland. It's 2 very good defensive teams.
Mm-hmm.
I hear all of these things, and I've condensed this down into a basic 5-step plan.
Okay.
What is your biggest qualm with the NBA? You, the passive NBA observer, sports talk show host, what is your biggest problem with the NBA? I hear 3 of the same things.
Load management.
I can fix that with step number 1, which is reducing the NBA schedule.
Okay.
You have too many games.
Mm-hmm.
You have too many games. It's insanity that you play 82 games. You have doctors adamantly saying that that's too many, so you have to load manage these guys from 68 to 70 to 72. Great. I'll cut it back to 68.
Yep.
68 games, according to what you've said, 68's fine.
That's
guys
like the honey hole.
That's the honey hole,
Yeah.
68 to 72.
I'd be on board for cutting it less than that, but, you know.
Well, I mean, I hear some people say 54, and okay, now you're – the problem with that is now you're getting into, okay, now the records are – every record will never be touched.
Right.
Ever. Nobody will ever come close to it. I mean, and that's going to happen in slight effect with the 68. But now you're scoring so many more points that it's at least halfway attainable.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's the simple stage 1 fix.
Okay, stage 1, cut the games down to 68.
68 games now. You see everybody at least once. Don't have to play 4 games in your division.
One of my steps was cut it to 52. Maybe that's on the low side.
That's cutting it a little deep. My second fix is moving the NBA calendar. The fact we start this sport on Halloween is absolutely one of the stupidest things in pro sports to me, because the first 3 months of your season are completely overlapped by the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You have a sweet spot in the schedule because, see, we get to this point where there's nothing to talk about. I mean, we can talk about we have the draft. Some of these other shows that don't do draft things, I'm like, so what exactly do you do between March and the end of April? Because that's draftmas season for us, which is a honey hole. And then after May, it gets
even today, listening to the national shows was quite
comical.
An adventure this morning.
Oh, it's comical to me. So that's my second fix. I'm going to start the season on Christmas Day.
Okay.
That is your biggest these are your TV ratings, not mine. The Nielsen's putting them out, you're putting them out. The most viewed day of the season is Christmas Day. Because largely you have it to yourself.
Yeah. The NFL has now said that's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, but I can get around one game. All right, there's one game on Christmas. I have to get around that. I'll start 1 at noon. The NFL game probably starts at 4 if I had a wager, so I'll start 1 at noon, 1 at 2, 1 at 7, and 1 at 9. In a Messenger Speed line. I still get all 4 of those premium games. They're still primetime games. There's still a lot of people trying to get away from their families. I'm good.
I think from now on you'll see Christmas Day be like Thanksgiving Day for the NFL. You'll see.
I don't know that you're going to do that with one.
I mean, we did it this year because Christmas was on a Sunday,
right?
But I think that went over so well.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the NFL.
Now the NFL goes, you know what? We need 3 games on Christmas every day or every year.
Bob Brown in our YouTube comment said Christmas Day, opening day, would be the NBA's version of the Daytona 500.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes,
I agree with you. That also gives you a much longer off season. So injury things. Okay, now I've compounded that now twice.
Right. Now you're fully healthy with a longer offseason, and you have a shorter schedule. So don't give me this load management crap.
My next fix, and this one's going to be tough for fans of the Sacramento Kings or people in Seattle that for some reason think you need a team back in spite of the fact you couldn't support the first one. It is pretty good.
Oh, I'm on board with this.
I'm cutting 6 out.
Okay.
I'm cutting 6
teams
out.
are getting cut.
There are players in the NBA right now that I'm telling you right now could not – when the Asheville altitude were in Asheville, there are players actively playing minutes in the NBA right now that could not have played for the Asheville altitude. And I mean that. There are players in this league that do not belong in this league. And so you want to talk about, well, nobody ever plays defense. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? You're telling me you don't think LeBron James can play defense? No, he can.
Mm-hmm.
There's one problem. All I have to do is run one set, make an extra pass, and I'm going to get a wide-open shot. Because invariably there is somebody on this floor that doesn't belong. If I condense the rosters, get rid of the 6 teams that nobody watches anyway.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time somebody said, I got to get home to watch the Sacramento Kings?
If they don't live in Sacramento, they've got a problem.
No, in Sacramento, they don't even watch it. Then it gets into the one that I think could almost be.
Wait. Before we move on to the next rule.
Who are the 6
I'm
cutting?
Who are the 6?
Sacramento's the easy one. Do you have an opinion on that?
I'm going Sacramento.
Because you have some bad teams that are in good market. I'm gonna make you say it. You're the actual fan of the team.
I'm going Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
I would probably say Orlando. Have we had enough of Orlando?
They're going to be right on the line.
Like, even thinking of the expansion teams that we've seen since, 1988? Miami's the only one that survives. The rest of them can go. Oklahoma City, gone.
If I were doing it, it would be Toronto Raptors, Detroit Pistons, Charlotte Hornets, San Antonio Spurs, New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to say the Spurs, but I couldn't get there. I feel like there's
the media market's just awful.
I guess, but I also feel like that's a franchise that has achieved enough that you would go.
But I don't care. That's why I cut the Pistons. I don't care what you did 40 years ago. That's Major League Baseball territory. You don't sell right now. Nobody goes.
Mm-hmm.
Watch a Pistons game right now and tell me that's an NBA franchise. It
so
looks like they give out tickets at the county fair to show up there.
So just go the way of the Chicago Stags, just defunct team.
I don't care.
Okay.
Get rid of them. That adds about 1 player per team. Well, 2 players per team.
Mm-hmm.
Off those rosters and gets those back into the roster guys to the G League, which makes that even – I'm not going to say more entertaining because I don't think there's anything you can do there.
Mm-hmm.
But it at least makes it to where it's – I mean, there are times I watch the G League and go, my God, how many children did Lamar Ball have? They keep appearing in the G League. And it really makes me look at this and go, this is not real.
Mm-hmm. Houston? Would Houston be on that short list?
Houston's well supported. A lot of money in Houston.
I know there's
I don't
want
to lose that media market.
Yeah.
I'm cutting out the bad media markets comparatively.
Portland
was one that was close for me. But they do support, and that might be because Dame Lillard.
That's what it's because they're relevant, because they have a relevant player. If Charlotte had that, their numbers would look better. If San Antonio had that, their numbers
Actually,
would look
you know
better.
what? Let's cut Portland. We'll combine New Orleans and Charlotte and let them play in Charlotte. Just combine those 2 teams. We'll cut 5. You have to draft those teams, and we'll just combine Charlotte and New Orleans into one team.
Oh, that might work.
Hey, you get Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo or LaMelo Ball. Hey,
that'd be fun.
That team's fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to know who your 6 teams to cut out would be, because I mean, frankly, I'd be all for it.
Well, that leads me into my next one. You got to cut the playoffs down. You want to know why nobody watches your regular season? Look, we treat it that way with the schedule of this show. I don't care about your games until about right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's 15 games left in the season. I don't care because 2/3 of the league makes the playoffs. And you've got teams in this league that are awful.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to make the playoffs as the youngest team in the NBA missing their best player. They're going to make the playoffs. But you get Detroit, Charlotte, Orlando, Indiana, Chicago. OKC's right on the line. I think they're going to end up passing somebody. I'm just not sure who. Portland, Utah, San Antonio, Houston. 8 of those 10 teams are not trying to win. They have unabashedly told you, we are not trying to win. We want the number 1 pick in this draft. Because Victor Wembanyama is the best prospect we've seen since LeBron James. There are teams in your playoffs that were trying to do that too. It just completely ruins your product. Yeah. Well, we got to have the play-in games. They've rated off. They've been terrible.
I didn't think that the play-in games were a bad idea originally.
I thought it was a horrid idea.
I thought this will be fine. It'll add a little spice. It'll give some of those teams, give their fan bases a little something to look forward to. Hey, we got a shot, but you know what it did? It made me check out more. I had already checked out.
Cut it to 4 teams per conference.
Right, but it made me check out more because now, well, if the Hornets are good, then they'll be in the play-in game, and I don't really need to watch anything else. And you know why? You know why I believe that? Because every player in your league believes it. See, that's the root of all of the the big root of all of the problems in the NBA is that the players don't care. You don't care to get on the floor every night, give your best, blah blah blah, all the coach speak that I can throw out there. You don't care. So why should I?
So that would have actually been my 6th change. 2 words of why that happens. Guaranteed contracts. All right, I'll give you an example. If you gave Baker Mayfield a 5-year deal and guaranteed every cent of it, a guy that's already shown he's not necessarily all in all the time, what do you think you'd get?
Yeah.
What do you think you'd get?
Yeah.
So
that's your 5-step process.
Oh, I've got one more.
Oh.
So you cut the playoffs down to 4 teams.
Okay.
And I want you to look at right now, in the East, you'd have the Bucks, Celtics, Sixers that are pretty comfortably in. You would have the Cavs, Knicks, Nets, and I'm going to loosely say the Heat because I guess they could theoretically make it. It would be tough. They're all battling for the last spot. Tell me how much fun that would be. Milwaukee Bucks, and say it's the New York Knicks. And then you get a series of Celtics, 76ers. You play that 7-game series, you play one more, and now you're in the finals. That's compressed. That's easy. That is enough that people would consume it. And in the Western Conference, you would have the Nuggets. Wow, the West is tight. The Nuggets, the Kings, the Grizzlies, and the Suns. The Kings are the 2 seed in the West, and I just realized that. That's how bad the West is. Woo. Woof.
See, you say that's how bad the West is.
That's how bad the West is. The West is awful.
What?
The West is awful. Now, the Suns are going to end up being the 2 because they have Kevin Durant.
Yeah. I mean,
but he's been there for 3 games.
But I look at the West, and I go, the West should be the exciting part.
Okay. Tell me what's exciting about the West. Oh, if you're a lapsed NBA fan and you want a real quick playoff primer, let me give it to you as the fan of the only good team in the West.
Yeah. Well, obviously Denver's at the top.
By a lot.
Right. But you got Dallas. That's a good team.
Who has 2 players, could not play dead in a Western defensively and lose to every team that can score on them.
Golden State Warriors wouldn't make it in your scenario.
Cannot play on the road to save their lives. They won 7 games on the road all year.
Right.
Awful.
You cut out both the LA teams?
Neither one is watchable. The Lakers are more so now.
I was going to say the Lakers have been
pretty good.
The Lakers
are more so now, but it was so late in the season. The Clippers are awful. You watch that team, and it is honestly like they just met each other for the first time when they came out of the tunnel and they handed them a jersey. And then Memphis, I'll be honest with you, I heard today John Morant may miss 50 games once this investigation's over.
Wow.
Tell me how interesting Memphis is without John.
50 games?
There's a lot more to this story than people know.
I can't wait to hear it. I really can't wait to hear it. 50 games for having a gun on Instagram?
That's not all it was.
There's more.
There's some kerfuffles with that.
Okay.
And then there is one more step.
You
got to fix your draft.
What's wrong with the draft?
This is the best draft in the NBA since 2003, the LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony draft.
Okay.
Nobody cares. You know why they don't care? Because they've never seen any of these guys.
We don't know who any of them
Victor
are.
Wembanyama plays in France. Scoot Henderson plays in the G League, which no one watches. The 2 Thompson twins play in Overtime Elite. Nobody cares. All right, so you're trying to force feed me this prospect. I don't know anything about him. If Victor Wembanyama came in this studio right now, the only reason you would even know who he was is because he's 7'4". That's it. Scoot Henderson could come in here and try to sell you car insurance. You wouldn't have the foggiest of a clue who he is.
Right.
None.
If Victor Wembanyama and Fab Melo walked in here, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between them.
Well, Fab Melo died, so.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Many
I knew that.
years ago,
I'm sure I knew that at some point. I was not trying to throw any jabs.
Yeah, no, I know what you're trying to say.
Right.
But that's the thing. So where is the next generation of players you care about? That's also completely killed college basketball because you get these guys for a year. So here's my solution. It's the baseball rule. You can come straight out of high school. That's what you want to do, more power to you. I am not going to keep you from making your money. But if you go to college, you're staying 3 years. And just look at what you have right now. So Duke, for example. Kyle Filipkowski, Derek Lively. If you knew those guys were going to be around for 2 years, would you not be a little bit more attached?
Sure.
As a Duke fan right now, you know the entire starting five, minus probably Jeremy Roach, is going pro the minute you lose in the tournament. I don't have any emotional attachment to you. Yeah, you're wearing the jersey that I care about. That's where college basketball falls out of – that's where you fall out with college basketball. So now you don't have Carolina in the tournament. That's one of the 5 known entities in college basketball. What does that lead to? People don't watch it. So Brandon Miller can go 30-10 every night for Alabama. You're largely not watching it till the Final Four. So then he gets drafted in the NBA and you don't care. You've never seen him play. That to me is the easiest fix, and there is absolutely no reason to have an objection to it. And the NBA has put their fingers in their ears and screamed at the top of their lungs about that for as long as I can remember. If baseball, it's the only thing I will ever, one of the very few kind things I'll ever say about Major League Baseball. If they can figure it out, I do not see how you can. Because that would fix 2 at one time.
Right. And that was, to me, that was part of the process of the G League.
Why do you think people talk about Carolina so much this year? They're the preseason number 1. All right, that's a given. They've not been good.
No.
We are a Carolina affiliate, which is why we talk about them. But national media, in the limited amount of time they give to college basketball, why do they give it to Carolina? Because if you asked the average fan, whether it's in this state or any other, name me 10 players in college basketball. 4 of them play for Carolina. 3 of them. Baycott, Caleb Love, R.J. Davis. It's not an accident. Now, name me a starter for Houston. Name me a starter for Alabama not named Brandon Miller. Kills both at the same time. Boom! And there's your fix for the NBA. It would take a year or 2.
Yeah.
But it would at least be something worth talking about.
And then the teams that you contract, they can go to the G League.
Yeah, let them play the G League.
You can go full on what I was going to say about the draft and allowing this one and done thing. Like, you're going to see a lot of that. If you open that back up to high schoolers coming in, you're going to need the G League.
No doubt.
You're going to need the G League because that's how it works in baseball is that these guys go straight out of high school into Major League Baseball. No, they don't. They go to the minors, and they get in the minors, and if you're superstar, really good, you can come out of the minors in 2 years.
And that's the thing. People say nobody plays defense in the NBA. No, they don't play team defense in the NBA. If you're really good running a pick and roll in the NBA, you're almost unbeatable. Why do you think the Denver Nuggets are so good? It's really simple. Because they have a 7'1" guy that can stroke threes, is one of the best screen setters in the league. And all he does is roll the basket. You can't stop him.
Yeah.
Because it's all 5-on-5, man-on-man defense. That is why people like your father is the one that I always hear say this.
Yeah.
Well, they don't play defense. No, 4 of them do. The problem is that I make the extra pass, and there's somebody that shouldn't be on this floor.
Right.
So they don't understand the concept of switches.
One of my added steps that you did not mention that I would have gone down is I'm sick and tired of the fouling. I'm sick and tired of the touch fouls. That's part of the reason there's no defense. It's because you can't get physical anymore.
Well, in the NBA, if somebody mans somebody up, you almost look at that and go, well, he's trying to foul them. It's the only reason he would be within an arm's length of him. I don't disagree with that either.
Yeah. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We will fix all of the sports here over the coming days.
College basketball tomorrow.
Here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, stop and go near Saluda between Ozone Drive and the US 25 connector. 26 westbound again, slow between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Mills Gap Road delays. Hendersonville Road moving well. Smoky Park Highway, no issues. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earn doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
Asheville, the ultimate battle. March 17th and 18th, the Egg Center. Here they come. 3D monster trucks, starring Lone Wolf, battling Boss Gator, and more. Tickets now at monstertnt.com or buy at Allen's Jewelry and Pawn for free pit passes.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope. Oh no, he's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business. And we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Yeah, so the ACC tournament's going on right now. You can hear the Tar Heels in action tonight against Boston College. The pregame will start right after we're finished here at 6 o'clock. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock. It's big for the Tar Heels, too.
Yeah, if you lose this one, Tar Heel fans, I'll go ahead and tell you, you can schedule a round of golf for Sunday.
Yeah, you lose this one, you're not getting into the tournament. You lose against Virginia.
Probably not getting in, but that's closer.
You may not get.
Carolina's gotten some help with teams that probably would have gotten in that have won their conference. Oral Roberts, Charleston. That's the two I can think of off the top of my head.
Right.
Nobody stealing a bid in the West Coast Conference. So, I mean, that gives you a shot. But you have to win tonight.
I think even if you beat Virginia, you may not be in.
No, you beat Virginia, you're in.
You think so?
That bubble's soft as a baby's diaper. And it's not good.
All right, it is that time. It's time to get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, And there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, Jeremy loves animal stories, and so
I have one of those too.
I've found an animal story here that I think Jeremy can get on board with. Because I mean, nobody likes harassment, right? Harassment is a bad thing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a man who lives in Hawaii, and he calls himself Dolphin Dave. And Dolphin Dave has a Facebook.
Is Dolphin Dave friends with Aaron Rodgers? Because that sounds like somebody that would be friends with Aaron Rodgers.
Dolphin Dave has a Facebook page where he has dolphin-inspired art, and he sells it. But in his spare time, he likes to go scuba diving and snorkeling and all that. Well, apparently he has caused a giant stir on the islands because the Department of Land and Natural Resources got flooded with calls the other day about a man, quote, pursuing a humpback whale on the Big Island.
When you say pursuing,
he was chasing whales.
I don't feel like that's going to end the way he wants it to.
and maybe not. But
was he trying to ride one? Why in the world would you do that?
He shared a video on social media where he was like, I mean, just could almost reach out and just grab this humpback whale. Now, the whale's probably not going to feel it because it's, as big as a city bus. But he's apparently known for doing this. He loves swimming with the whales and swimming with the dolphins. And that's all well and good when you have a license or a business running, like you got a whale watching thing. But you don't ever get close enough to actually touch the animals, because that is a crime. Yes, it is a crime because humpback whales are a protected species. And so to keep people from chasing them into boating lanes and stuff, because that's the thing, like they don't know what you are. You could alter their course and they go into, like I said, boating lanes or fishing nets and all that kind of stuff. It's out to protect all of the animals. This guy, he says he's not going to stop. He will not stop because it is a magical experience. There's your Aaron Rodgers connection.
Oh, this guy's totally friends with Aaron Rodgers.
This guy has been charged. He is set to appear in court in May. Says he will not stop. And my question is, how far will they go to make sure that he stops?
Well, here's my question. How bad or how close or how bad does he have to irritate a whale for it to just turn around and go, bow?
Like Jonah, just
no more Dolphin Dave.
Right, Dolphin Dave and the whale met his grisly end, like the dude that made the grizzly bear movie.
That's all I want to see.
Please tell me you've seen that.
What?
The grizzly bear, the movie about the guy that goes out and lives with the grizzly bears.
You told me about that.
Greatest ending to a movie ever.
If you've never seen it, I'll spoil the ending for you. My story comes from Ohio. In January, Hamilton County dog wardens responded to a report of a leopard spotted in a tree in Oakley. So they went to remove the animal, and they were going to take it to the Cincinnati Animal Care. So they take the animal in, they do all the tests, they figure out it's actually a serval.
Ooh.
Which is you're not allowed to own in Ohio.
Yeah,
for some reason you're allowed to own a leopard. Ohio. I got another for you.
Just trying to think. There's some dude that lives in a trailer park in Ashtabula, Ohio, that's got a leopard.
So they do all the tests. They figure out it's a serval. Now they have to figure out what to do with this thing. So they take it to the Cincinnati Zoo. But they ran some tests on the cat that came back this week. So when the cat was found in the tree, what do you think they found in the system of the cat?
Oh, crimes.
Oh, it's totally crimes.
100%.
It's totally crimes. And it's a crime that seems to be happening more and more in the recent past. It's Cocaine Cat.
What are you people?
The cat was high on cocaine. Stop giving drugs to wild, angry animals.
Now I have to know how he got it.
According to the dog wardens and the people at the Cincinnati Animal Care, we can't say how the animal got the cocaine in the system. Don't know if it was environmental or experimental.
Environmental.
How is that environmental?
Well, I mean,
let me as a layman explain to you how this happened, because I have a pretty good idea that I know. Somebody was doing crimes, and they had just seen the trailer for Cocaine Bear, and they saw a cat in a tree and went, Cocaine Cat. Sequel, we're doing it right now, and we're going to be rich and famous because they were high on crimes. That is how we wound up with Cocaine Cat.
This is full on the serval was being held again. Like I said, was raised in captivity by some drug dealer and got into the stash. It's the only, because you can't. I mean, you're not going to get some some guy to be able to lure a cougar. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. No, that's not how that worked.
So Sloan Jordan may be the winner of the comment of the day. As he said, cocaine cougar just rolls off the tongue, and I'm reasonably sure that I dated her in high school. I've lived a fun life. I've lived a fun life.
I know there's a Courtney Love joke in there somewhere.
It depends on how well you know me. There's a slew of jokes in there. My question is there anybody in the YouTube comments that's known me that long?
So we've got Cocaine Shark, Cocaine Serval, and Meth Gator. It's fun. I really want to see Cocaine Bear.
The movie?
Yeah.
From what I've been told, you absolutely should. I've been told it's great. It's a lot more interesting than virtually any other movie I see. Advertised, not that I actually watch, because I don't watch any of them.
Gotcha.
I do love that now we've gotten to a point where the rest of the world has figured out that I was right. Stop watching movies. They're awful.
I still want to see Heroin Squirrel.
I don't like that you joke about that so freely. Those are terrifying
Just because
words.
I know it would be your biggest nightmare.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that at all, especially if it's a flying squirrel. You tell me that thing can get up a tree and whee! No, out. That is bad. That's crimes. Get that flying varmint.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time to continue with our off-season previews. We've been going team by team, and now it is time to, we're going to get into the Jacksonville Jaguars off-season next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty big change up to the weather scene for mid-March. Next week, we could see some below freezing 20s nighttime low temps Monday night, Tuesday night long range. We're at 37 tonight in the valley. Mostly cloudy Thursday, high 62, low 45. Some rain coming in Thursday night, Friday. Friday's high 60 degrees. And then a cooler pattern for the weekend with high temps in the 40s and 50s this weekend. More rain Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, very busy west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway moving well. Patton Avenue north and southbound near New Leicester Highway delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Edneyville, Chimney Rock Road near Rockwood Drive delays both directions. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. Want to be 100% certain about your taxes? Jackson Hewitt backs your return for life. Switch today and get 50% off tax prep. 50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer, unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you'd get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented wave technology on the sole that gently massages your feet while you're walking around. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene, and it's time for another off-season preview in the NFL. We've been going team by team over the last couple of weeks.
And now it's time for the Cocaine Cats.
That's right, Cocaine Cats from Jacksonville, where you know there's somebody that's got a serval.
Oh, absolutely.
In captivity
and
in Jacksonville.
And it just crushes PBRs.
It very well might be Shad Khan.
Smokes haters.
I mean, Shad Khan may just have a whole den of tigers.
Has a mullet. Wears a jort diaper.
The cat has a mullet?
No doubt.
Nice.
Has a jort diaper. Make sure it doesn't defecate on the street.
So with the Jacksonville Jaguars, this team was better this year than I thought they were going to be. There was always that possibility that they were going to take a step forward. With the development of Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson comes in. You got a real big boy NFL head coach rather than, trying to make the Urban Meyer thing work. I mean, you had the number 1 overall pick in Trayvon Walker. Maybe that didn't go the way you were hoping it would, but he's still a piece for the future.
He showed some signs.
You went out and spent a whole bunch of money on Christian Kirk, and we laughed. And you spent a whole bunch of money on Zay Jones, and we laughed. You spent a whole bunch of money on Evan Ingram, and we laughed. But this team was better than we expected.
Mm-hmm. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's better than we expected.
Now the question becomes, what can they do to take the next step? They already made the trade at the deadline for Calvin Ridley. So you've got an all-pro level wide receiver being added to this team now.
Which is without a doubt, it's going to help.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest problem with Jacksonville, and I'm not sure if getting Cam Robinson back healthy will help this. It certainly can't hurt it. They were the best pass-blocking offensive line in the NFL last year.
Really?
They were unequivocally, by every statistical metric, the worst run-blocking unit in the league. And that's why I feel like they're allowing Jawan Taylor to walk. They know they can't do anything in free agency. They are killed against the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And this team is young. You can add little pieces, but you got your splurge into free agency last year with Foye Oluokun, all the guys that you said. And in large part, most of those things worked.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to do what good teams have to do. You have to go kill the draft. And the thing that scares me the most about that, and I said this in the mock draft yesterday, they're absolutely in love with Jordan Addison and Keely Ringo. That's their Their A+, if they were doing the A+ mock draft, it would be Addison in the first round and Keely Ringo in the second.
Okay.
They like the thought of having Ringo and Campbell on the outside because they value them to be very similar players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how I feel about that? I don't like Keely. I'm not a Keely Ringo guy.
And I get it. I get why you would not be. But I kind of felt the same way about Tyson. You know, they're both.
I liked Tyson.
They're both Georgia guys. Tyson to me was a big risk as well. He came in and he played pretty well. And Keely, he's a freak athletically. The problem with me and Keely is I don't think you're there mentally. Like, I don't think you're sharp enough to stay out of trouble, stop doing stupid penalties, things like that.
Well, he got in trouble because he's one of those players, and I target these guys. He has been the most athletic player on every field he's ever played on in his life. And he's used that to get himself on the field. He never improved the technique. The technique at times is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at him in a system like Todd Bowles. Let's say for whatever reason you took him. You'd be out of the league in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be picked on over and over and over again. And so for me, I'm looking at Jacksonville going, you don't have to hit home runs at this point. I don't know if you feel the same way about that I do. I feel like they have little pieces of this roster that they need to improve. But I think you're young in almost every position that you would want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You're young in almost every position, period.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you are set up for success here. The reason you were able to spend so happily in free agency last year
is because you've missed on practically every draft pick you had for about 5 years.
Well, I mean, there's that, but it's also the fact that you do have the quarterback on a rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence this year has a lower cap hit than Jameis Winston and Mitch Trubisky. That's your fun fact of the day, folks. Mm-hmm. That's not last year. That's this coming season.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence has a lower cap hit than Jameis Winston and Mitch Trubisky. You can do a lot with that.
So if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, where are you spending your limited funds and your draft capital?
I mean, I'm hunting the tackle market.
I'm not. You're good at tackle. Walker Little, he held up at left tackle last year. He's going to be much better on the right side. I didn't think he could ever do that.
Mm-hmm.
You get Cam Robinson back. You let Jawan Taylor walk because I'm telling you that number is going to be stupid. I had my first $20 million text on Jawan Taylor yesterday, which I'm not going to lie, I read and I actually felt my heart skip. Like, oh, good Lord, please nobody do that. And yet a team will. A team will.
Mm-hmm. Corner?
I would want an outside corner. I think you need one safety. You need somebody to play on the other side of Andre Sisco, who I'm incredibly high on. The interior of the offensive line. Sloan Jordan said in our YouTube comments to channel our buddy Brian Haynes. Needs some high mollies. Yeah, because the interior of that line is bad. I think Brandon Scherf will be better this year. So for me, this is a team that needs to be just staring down those three centers. Luke Weipler from Ohio State, John Michael Schmitz from Minnesota, and I never can pronounce his name. Oluwatimi from Michigan. I'm just going to call him Oluwatimi from here on out.
There you go.
Because I can't pronounce his first name to save my life. I need that draft guide. NFL, could you get that to me? That would be tremendous.
Right. Okay. So interior of the offensive line. Corner,
and I'm looking at the
safety.
defense just going, I want to add a couple veteran pieces over there. I mean, you do realize the most vet player that plays legit snaps is Josh Allen. That's how young this defense is.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, I didn't love re-signing Roy Robertson Harris to the $10 million deal. That felt like an overpay to me. And I just look at the guys you're losing. Arden Key would be a nice piece back. He's hitting the open market. You ain't getting him back because somebody's going to overpay him based on what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Jawan Taylor, same thing. Bob Brown said Dougie P was a great hire. Absolutely he was. Absolutely was, and we said that when they hired him.
Yep.
This was the best thing you could do. I didn't think it would turn out this well this quickly.
Yeah, the turnaround was much quicker than I thought it would be. But, yeah, I was right there with you.
And Sloan asked, no love for Joe Tippmann out of Wisconsin. He's my 4, and it's close. He's just always the one that I forget.
Well, in a cap savings move, they are releasing Shaq Griffin. So that's going to cut $13 million off of that cap hit. And right now they're at 5 over, I think, is where they sit. So that's going to get them under the salary cap.
Well, and the hope would be that that allows them to play Darius Williams in the slot, which is where he should be, and get that second outside corner. If I'm Jacksonville, that's what I'm doing in the first round. There are too many corners. I feel really sure I'm going to get a guy right there in the first round, and then I will address if I want to add another receiver. I know there are a slew of interior offensive linemen that I get in the second round, and then probably try to add a safety at some point because there's a few box safeties that none that I feel warm and fuzzy about. Brandon Joseph, except one. And now I feel like you're the best team in this division. I don't think it's all that close.
It's amazing how drastic things can change from one year to the next. Last year we were laughing at this team, calling them a dumpster fire, that they were just an absolute clown show. They had, Trent Baalke, and nobody wanted to work with him, and blah, 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 blah.
It's fun what Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence can do in a year, isn't it?
You get a Super Bowl winning head coach that comes in there and takes over. You see the turnaround from Trevor Lawrence, who played better football from week 8 on than pretty much anybody else in the NFL outside of Patrick Mahomes. This team's on its way. On its way to a division title this year and threatening for the AFC maybe in another 2 years.
Well, now Jacksonville is going to get what they were teased with a few years ago with Blake Bortles and that team just falling apart. Because you're in the same boat now, and I don't think this is falling apart.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound stop and go approaching Fanning Bridge Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slowing. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road, some light delays. Near Edneyville, Chimney Rock Road near Rockwood Drive, seeing delays both directions. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big. Now get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends 4/15. Visit staples.com/printbig for details. This is your sign to try Staples, where your prints are perfect guaranteed.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
And now a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive.
And today, expect mostly sunny conditions with a high on life that can only come from cruising down the road on 2 wheels. Kids will wave, dogs will bark, and cyclists in padded shorts will instantly regret their chosen mode of transportation. Whereas you, on the other hand, will look super duper cool. Back to you in the studio.
This has been a special motorcycle weather report from Progressive, where every day's a beautiful day to ride with coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get a quote today and see what you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It is ESPN Asheville, and we are in the Ingles Studio. Sportsocracy coming to you live every weekday afternoon here, 3 to 6 on ESPN Asheville, and, of course, on the YouTube stream. And one of the things that we love most about our listeners, our family, our House of Reprehensibles, and those unclaimed delegates so far, which we consider all of you to be, is your willingness to help out in times of need, times of charity, whatever you want to say. We are very slotty for charity, as Jeremy likes to say. And
we are much like New England Patriots receivers. We're very slotty when it comes to charity.
Right, and we have another opportunity for you to help out in a charitable cause.
We did this last year. It's with one of our reprehensibles, Justin Parton. It is bowling. What is it? Bowling for a cause? Bowling for kids' sake. I knew it was right on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't get it out. It's for Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's a fundraiser with Thermo Fisher, who is a lot of our great listeners come from Thermo Fisher. I actually never realized how many of them listen to us until I went to an event with them where they were bowling, and I realized, oh, you all know who I am,
There are a lot of you
which
here.
is odd for me because I usually can slide in a place and, hey, see the 3 or 4 people that know me and then leave. And that it didn't go that way. But it's for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Western North Carolina. I am putting the link to the donation portal in the chat. So if you would like to donate to that, we greatly appreciate it. It is a great cause here in Western North Carolina. And we appreciate Justin Parton and all of you for being great listeners of this show and allowing us to be very slotty for charity.
Absolutely. We'll also make sure that gets out on our social medias so
Yes.
you can help out the Thermo Fisher scientific team and our good friend Justin Parton. Just another way to step up and help our local community. You guys are always great about stepping up and helping out in times of need. When it comes to the fantasy football stuff that we do for Edwin Charity St. Nicholas Project.
Oh, just wait till you see that next year. I've been conspiring with other people that do things like this, and we've added new levels, new tiers, and great things.
And he can't wait to try to get his hands on a belt.
Oh, wait till you see the you thought the first belt was good. Oh, good.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Yeah, check out the link to help out in the YouTube comments right now. We'll also get that out on all of the social medias. The Sports Center update is coming up next, and then top of the third hour of the program, it's daily draft time. And I told you he was going to figure out how to get some draft stuff in here. Woo! For the Draftmas season, we'll do stock up, stock down from the NFL Combine.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty big change up to the weather scene for mid-March. Next week, we could see some below freezing 20s. Nighttime low temps Monday night, Tuesday night, long range. We're at 37 tonight in the valley. Mostly cloudy Thursday, high 62, low 45. Some rain coming in Thursday night, Friday. Friday's high 60 degrees. And then a cooler pattern for the weekend with high temps in the 40s and 50s this weekend. More rain Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound stop and go approaching Fanning Bridge Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slowing. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road, some light delays. Near Edneyville, Chimney Rock Road near Rockwood Drive, seeing delays both directions. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Reset your rest at Mattress Firm's Big Spring Sale. Shop top brands today and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select purchases. Time to score big savings on your dream bed.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We are a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Police in Glendale, Colorado have closed their investigation into a video that appeared to show Memphis Grizzlies star John Morant showing off a gun inside a nightclub last Friday. The police department says there wasn't enough evidence available to charge anybody with a crime. The NBA is still investigating the incident independently. Morant remains away from the team indefinitely. A day after signing quarterback Daniel Jones to a 4-year, $160 million contract, the Giants have now turned their attention to running back Saquon Barkley, explains GM Joe Shane.
We put the franchise tag on him, so we've had deals out, whether it's the bye week or recently, and we're going to continue to negotiate. We love Saquon. He's a good teammate. He's a captain. He's a hell of a player. So, right now he's under the franchise tag, and as we build the team and continue with our offseason plan, we'll do what's best for the team, and we're still mapping that out.
The franchise tag for Barkley, $10 million for 2023. Shane also said the team has started negotiations with defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, who is slated to play on the fifth-year option of his rookie contract.
Get ready for Champions, the hilarious new movie starring Woody Harrelson. Woody's a hot-headed basketball coach who's in over his head when he's court-ordered to manage a team with intellectual disabilities and a whole lot of attitude. Champions, only in theaters Friday. Rated PG-13.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Coming to you live from the Ingles Studio. You can hear us everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. You can also see us at any time. I mean, you missed the show live. You can always go back and watch it on the YouTube stream. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel while you're there. That'll get you into the chat with us. You can also join the House of Reprehensibles if you have not already. Like I said, we already consider you to be members of the family. We just don't know that you're here until you actually join the House of Reprehensibles. So you could do that as well. Get you into our Discord chat and tonight, all hours access.
Oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you, if you fire away this is the ideal time to fire away 9 o'clock draft questions, because you never know what you're going to get from 6 domestic lights deep, old Flostradamus over here.
That's also a great way to get shout-outs on the program, as we've had countless number of topics that have generated from the Discord server as well. So
we like to call that our think tank, because a lot of times we'll throw things out there and people go, oh, that's good, or no, that's bad, or oh, good Lord, you're not going to do that, are you? Those are usually the ones we do.
Mm-hmm.
But Good time had by all.
That's right. It is the top of the third hour of the program, and as we generally do here on the Sportsocracy, it is time for the daily draft, where Jeremy and I put our heads together and come up with the top 5 in whatever the day's category is. And today it's the stock up, stock down from the NFL Combine this past weekend. I'm going to go first because, Jeremy's going to do the deep divey stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've got some doozies. And I have one that is the definition of nepotism because I have to get this guy's name on this show because he is like me in one very specific way.
Mulleted man?
No, No, there are some mulleted men in this draft, but he is a mountain man.
Aha.
A mountaineer
from
man.
West Virginia.
He's a mountaineer man.
I already know who you're talking about.
And you should. You should have known that was coming. You can't go full super freak at the Combine and be a West Virginia feller and me not mention it at some point.
Right. Well, the number 1 overall winner of the Combine festivities, the Underwear Olympics in Indianapolis, was Anthony Richardson. Come on. The guy set records at every level of the athletics portion for the quarterbacks. A 4.44 40. He had a 40.5-inch vertical. He had a 10'9" broad jump. All of those are records. He got a perfect RAS score.
So which we'll be doing more RAS things this year.
The relative athletic score, Anthony Richardson came in at a 10.0. Highest score you could possibly get. To put that in perspective, the average relative athletic score for all quarterbacks drafted or participating between 1987 and 2023, Jeremy, do you know this number?
6'7"?
Nope. 4'8".
That's a stupid. Since how long?
Since 1987.
That's a stupid stat because quarterbacks used to be statues. The active one in the last 10 years, I think, is 6'7".
Okay.
I think. I would have to go back and check that.
Anthony Richardson got a 10.
Bleeping 10.
That's right. So Anthony Richardson, I don't think anybody we knew that kind of workout was coming. Did you really expect that he was going to set the records and everything?
I hit it almost on the nose. I said he was going to run a 4.4 flat and break all of the records.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson is a freak of nature when it comes to athletic things.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is he's horribly inaccurate. And that's the reason I can't put him stock up because I think he just did himself a disservice. Because now people are going to see all these things. Dan Payton in our YouTube comments, who is a great Bears fan and one of the only ones that can tolerate me for more than 5 consecutive minutes, and that deserves a shout-out on this show. So props to you, Dan Payton. I've been meaning to respond to him for about a week now, and I keep slipping my mind. He's being compared to all of these quarterbacks that you have to build a system around.
Mm-hmm.
That's harder to do than Jalen Hurts makes it look. Because that's where everybody goes with Justin Fields. Oh, we can build a system around it. We got all this money. You have to hit a lot of things in the draft to do that. I'm not saying it can't be done. Anthony Richardson's best case scenario is the Seattle Seahawks fall in love with him. And then he can sit behind Geno Smith for 2 or 3 years.
But do you draft a guy at 5 to sit him?
If you're not going to be in the top 10 for the next 5 years, then there is a thought to that. I know Seahawks fans hate that, but what is your alternative? Are you going to roll with Drew Lock? Is that who you really think is your long-term solution? Because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So that, to me, is the ideal. And then you slowly start building the pieces around because they have a lot of the pieces in place. It's just you have to keep developing it, keep developing him. There's an out in that Geno Smith deal after 2 years. This is the nicest way I can put it. I loved Trey Lance coming out, and I still like the talent with Trey Lance. Trey Lance was exponentially further along than Anthony Richardson as a passer, and you see what he has been through the first 2 years. So if he comes in, the one that terrifies me is the Raiders. Because if the Raiders, and I've heard this more than once, that their thought is they're going to bring back Jarrett Stidham. He will be the starter. He will be used to bring along whoever they draft in the system. And then they'll turn it over to Anthony Richardson. A, those two quarterbacks couldn't be more different if they tried. B, I don't trust the Raiders to build that team around him. So you're going to have a really good drafting team. Yes, he did kill the combine, but it doesn't surprise me in the least.
May not surprise you, but he did everything you thought he was going to do, and his draft stock has done exactly what you said it would.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrocket.
I told you, a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
He's going in the top 10. Now he's going in the top 5.
Yeah, I think he will go in the top 5. Somebody will trade up, probably Las Vegas, to get him.
So ironic that you mentioned RAS.
Mm-hmm.
Relative athletic score. 10-point scale. I'm going to give you a few names, and then I'm going to tell you their relative athletic score.
Okay.
Iowa tight end Sam Laporta, 9.25.
Nice.
South Dakota State tight end Tucker Kraft, 9.58. Oregon State tight end Luke Musgrave, 9.94.
Yikes.
Georgia tight end Darnell Washington, 9.85. My winner, number one winner, and it ain't close. The tight end class not named Michael Mayer. I'm on a level. Michael Mayer is now not going to be the first tight end drafted, I don't think.
Really?
I don't know that he's in the top 3. Dalton Kincaid didn't participate. He had a fracture in his back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that tape alone and just what we think he is athletically didn't have him neck and neck with Michael Mayer anyway.
Interesting.
Then you get all these other guys that go to the combine and just blow it out of the water. What does that do? This is simple supply and demand. This is capitalism at its finest. When the market is flooded with an asset that doesn't require a lot of inventory, what happens to all of it? It gets cheaper. I could see there not being a tight end go in the first round, and there could be 5 that go in the second round. And it wouldn't shock me at all. I had Michael Mayer as a no-doubt top 15 player. Now, I struggle to get him in the first round. Cincinnati, if they stay at their spot, I had them moving up for Bijan Robinson because of Joe Mixon things and trying to get cheaper and high level at a position. And I think a team will do that with Bijan. I just don't know who it is. This tight end class is unbelievable. It's the best tight end class I've ever graded. It's not even close. And there was one loser of the weekend in that class, though, and it was Michael Mayer. How big is he? If you're just looking at him, how much do you think he weighs?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think it's about 265, 270.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
He was listed at 265 at Notre Dame.
Okay.
He weighed in at 249 in Indy and then ran a 4.740.
Okay. So lost 20 pounds and he's
slower.
slower. And he's slower than we thought he was.
And see, that's the problem is that you lose weight so that you can run faster. Then you go to the pro day, you weigh again, and maybe you don't run. Or you keep the weight off, and then you show up to camp, and you weigh what you naturally do. And it reverts back to the tape. It's a combine game. A lot of guys do it. I don't know that I've ever seen a guy do it and then run that much slower than what I thought he was at his natural weight.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought he could run a 4.7 at 270. You shred that much weight, and you're still there? And you've got all these other guys that are moved tight ends. And look, Michael Mayer's the best tight end in this class if you're looking at everything. He's the best all-around tight end in this class. But I can do a lot with Darnell Washington. I can do a lot with Dalton Kincaid. I can do a lot with Luke Musgrave. And I feel like he cost himself a ton of money. I mean, a ton. He's a top 10 player in this class for me. And he still is, even with the combine. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a high-level class. I've said that time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is throwing up red flags at an alarming rate. And now he's almost becoming you have to go to the right place. I thought that was Green Bay. At Green Bay, everything I've heard is they're in love with Darnell Washington. That's their second-round pick. That's the way it's going to be. Don't be shocked if they take him in the first round.
Okay.
There's been talk of that. It would be with a move down. You're not taking him at 15. But
right.
It was alarming from Michael Mayer.
Okay.
So my first stock up is every tight end not named Michael Mayer, and my stock down is Michael Mayer himself.
Okay, so that's 2 selections.
It's back-to-backs, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I have a couple of stock-ups here, and they're both from the defensive side of the ball.
Did one of them play at your school?
Well, thanks for ruining it. I was going to save him till second, but we'll go ahead and do it.
I was about to say I don't think it's really ruining it because we knew you were going to do that.
You knew I was going to do it. You knew I was going to do it when Nolan Smith came in and just blew out the combine. He missed much of the end of his last season in Georgia at Athens. He had the torn pectoral muscle, and I think he showed way more about who he is as a football player this year, standing on the sidelines with his team, than he did actually being on the field. We got to see for the last 2 years prior to this just how good he is. He was one of the most terrifying guys on that defense that had all of the guys that got drafted in the first round last year, Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis and all those guys. And I'm not sure he wasn't the best defender on his team this year. And then you add in the fact that he became de facto coach on the sidelines. I think he did a lot for himself. And then he goes to the combine and just rips it to shreds like pretty much every Georgia player has done for the last couple of years. But still, I think he improved his draft stock from being possibly a mid-second round pick to he could be a mid-first round pick, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be shocked at all. I think he's a top 15 guy now. And I'll be honest with you, the workout has a good bit to do with that. I told you this, and I think I said it on the show, but I'm not positive. When he went to the mic in Indy and did the press conference that all these players do, I did not get more texts at any period. Anthony Richardson breaking all the quarterback records, all of the things, because I had a slew of people I know in Indianapolis for this that were relaying things to me. When Nolan Smith went to the podium, my phone exploded with, I love this kid. I want him to marry my daughter. He is the most likable human that I have ever seen in my life. I love him in the room, and I think he's going to just blow out the workout. And then he did. He's a top 15 pick at this point. I had reservations about some of the tape. I went back and watched it. I still see why I said that. But now I'm looking at all the raw athletic and go, if this kid is coached up in the NFL and put in the right scenario, there's no reason that he can't be a phenomenal player in this league.
All right, so I went full homer, as you knew I would do.
Shocked.
Went Nolan Smith from Georgia as my second stock up. I got another defensive player who's a stock up, but before we reveal it.
So we have breaking news.
Ooh.
Do you want to do it before the break or after?
Let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll do the breaking news, and then I'll come back with my third stock up, stock down from the NFL Combine here on today's Daily Draft in the Sportsocracy.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge is slow. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Boulevard Road northbound stop and go between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Edneyville, Chimney Rock Road near Rockwood Drive delays both directions. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Hiring heating up? Indeed's hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place. Sponsor a post and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates on Indeed whose resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
All right, back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, we have breaking news, and Jeremy told me I couldn't look at it because he wanted to see my initial reaction, so give it to me.
This is from the best source it could possibly be, from the school itself. Syracuse and Jim Boeheim have parted ways.
Yes! Yeah, let's go! Let's go. Goodbye, Jimmy. God.
Adrian
that guy
Autry
has been like a boil on the tail of the ACC for the last 25 years. Thank God.
Adrian Autry is Syracuse's next coach.
Don't even have any clue who that is.
He was the bench coach, I believe. The associate head coach. He played it at Syracuse. So, makes sense. I knew you would be greatly happy about this.
Of course. I mean, just as long as I don't have to look at his stupid face anymore.
You know who should be the happiest about this? Syracuse fans.
Absolutely.
Because you have been irrelevant forever.
And he has been a complete and utter embarrassment for at least the last, 2 years?
Oh, it's been longer than that.
I'm good. But, I mean, he went full
He went
off the
full
rails.
Abe Simpson. Just grumpy old man yelling at clouds.
Absolutely. I mean, snapping at student reporters and just, I don't know. It's ever since he almost lost to UNC Asheville in the NCAA tournament and just went scoreboard at the end of the game. Screw him.
You have. I knew there had to be a reason. You had never told me that, but I knew there had to be a reason.
It's that and the comments that he made about Greensboro. That basically that we shouldn't be having the ACC tournament in some hick town in North Carolina. You can go pound sand and go right back to wherever you came from.
In his last 10 years at Syracuse, he won 20 games 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Missed the tournament 5 times. So, I mean, Jim Boeheim should have been gone forever ago.
Most joyous today, Cocaine Bear Brian Haynes.
No doubt. We may actually have him in studio to talk about this tomorrow. We may have to record it because I could see a lot of obscenities coming out of him.
Right. Wish him well. Hope I never have to see him ever again. Good news. Good news. I'm glad. I started to think, what could it possibly be? What could the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have possibly done?
Sign Baker Mayfield. Come on. Let's go. Next. Next up. Next
No,
man
thank you.
up. Let's go.
No, thank you. I'd rather you sign Tim Tebow. That's
And
right,
for
I said
that,
it.
too.
I
Let's
said
go.
it.
That now makes me want it to be Baker Mayfield even more.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. In the midst of the daily draft, we're doing the stock up, stock down from the NFL Combine. And I went Anthony Richardson first. I don't feel like there's anybody who elevated their draft stock quite like him, at least in money, as far as money is concerned and focus. Jeremy thinks that's a detriment, and it can be. Jeremy went with the tight end class. Everybody except for Michael Mayer, who was his stock down at his second choice. And then I went stock up for Nolan Smith, who blew away the combine, blew away the interviews. It was just phenomenal from top to bottom, and he improved his draft stock greatly. Also, I feel like this was a bit of a reclamation after the combine process as well, and it's Clemson defensive tackle Bryan Bresee. For some reason, and you can explain this better than I can, Jeremy, but for some reason, he just dropped off of everybody's big board. I mean, drastically. Beginning of the season or the way too early mock drafts from last year had him going in the top 3 to 5.
And it was a projection.
Right.
And he didn't live up to the projection.
And I've seen mock drafts that have him in the second. I think I saw one that had him in the third round, which is insane to me.
He's a second-round pick.
But he comes in to the combine.
Back into the first, second-round pick.
He did fine. He ran well at the combine. The athletic stuff checked out.
904 RAS.
There you go. 904 relative athletic score, and I feel like he's in the discussion for the back end of the first round again.
Here's the thing that bothers me about that. What of all the stats that you see from a defensive tackle at the combine, which is the one that you if you're going to stock up a guy, which one is the one that you would think would be really high?
Bench press.
And his was awful.
He had, 22
reps?
reps?
For a defensive tackle is god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the RAS on that, 3.4.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. I didn't see it on the tape with him. I think he is a 3-4 defensive end. I have said that forever.
Agreed.
I am not coming off of that because that's what I think he is.
He's not a clogger. He's not a nose tackle.
No, I mean, and I guess that's where I have the issue is what exactly. All right, so your thought with him is if you're a 3-4 team, he can play end and then he slides to the inside to provide interior pass rush. If you're a 4-man front team, I don't see where he's supposed to play.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, a New England or something like that uses a lot of 3-man front, okay. I get it. I still think he's a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he runs good. Woo. I don't often ask a defensive tackle to run 40 yards in a straight line, so forgive me if I'm not overly impressed by that.
Mm-hmm. I've heard glowing remarks about the interview process with him as well.
He's a great kid.
And I think we all knew that.
I'm not doing on that.
Yeah,
I'm just
I get what you're saying.
There's something about this workout that has just made people go absolutely nanners, and I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've started seeing him back in the top 15 again.
Yep.
He's not that player. Don't do that to him. Do not put that expectation on this kid because he will not live up to it. I like this kid.
Mm-hmm.
Back into the first, beginning of the second, in a very specific scheme. And he can be – I think he can be a player in this league.
Yep. So Bryan Bresee is my third stock up for the combine.
My next one is a stock down, and it's every player listed as a safety in this class. All of them. I have never in my life seen a slower class. Do you know what the fastest time run by a safety was?
4.6.
4.52.
That's close.
That's not true. Sidney Brown ran a 4.47, and he actually had a pretty good week.
Okay.
I liked him a lot, and now I'm pushing him up. Other than that, they're all slow. Chris Smith runs a 4.6. He's without a doubt the most pro-ready safety. Jamie Robinson, my guy from Florida State, runs a 4.59. Didn't look good in the drills. This safety class is awful. Brian Branch ran slow. He even ran with the corners. Still ran slow. So 4.58. So this is not a great year to need a safety. If you need a box guy, I like Brandon Joseph out of Notre Dame a lot. Like I said, I did like Sidney Brown and Antonio Johnson, who I think plays on the outside. There are 2 safeties in this class I like, and I think they're both corners too. Both in that – one's in that Minkah Fitzpatrick role, Antonio Johnson, and then Brian Branch to me is more like a Tyrann Mathieu because he's not quite as big.
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and do this now so you don't even have the chance to get me. My West Virginia guy, Bryce Ford Wheaton, let's go. Couldn't play dead in the Western at time at West Virginia, but I'm not sure it's not because he didn't have a quarterback.
I was going to say.
He had games where he was indefensible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really surprised by what he did at the Combine.
Yeah, I don't remember what game it was that I watched, but it seemed like every other time the ball was released from the quarterback, it was Bryce Ford Wheaton making the play.
He was the only receiver on that team. And so it's really easy to look at him and go, that's the only guy that scares me. So you double him, and what else is it that you have that's supposed to even mildly concern me? He's 3/8 of an inch taller than DK Metcalf. DK outweighs him by 7 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Outran him by 0.05 of a second. Ford Wheaton had a higher vert. Athletically, they're the same guy. Let me go ahead and tell you, he's going on day 2 of this draft. There is going to be a team that falls absolutely in love with him. By the way, my West Virginia friends say he's one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet in your life, too. Love that kid.
Love that
Been
kid.
waiting to get that name out for 3 days.
All right.
To the place I belong.
Shocker of shockers, I've got another stock up here. Look,
Good old check mark.
I knew
participation trophy Spencer.
Oh, participation trophy Spencer here. Stock up, Andrew Voorhees. I had to get this story in there somewhere. So he's a tackle from USC. If you haven't seen the story already, he tore complete tear of his ACL doing the 40.
And by the way, he's a guard. He's listed as a tackle. He's a guard. He's a guard. He's a guard.
Okay.
Chicago Bears. It's a great pick for you in the 2nd round. Just throwing that out there.
Complete tear of his ACL running the 40 at the Combine. His day wasn't over yet, though, because he was still scheduled to go participate in the bench press. And he did, and he absolutely killed it with one leg on the ground and the other in that big air cast just hanging off of the table. Dude pumped out 38 reps in the bench press.
It was a sight.
It was incredible. It's one of the most, I don't know, I guess inspiring stories from the Combine. I mean, this kid was going to get drafted pretty high anyway. And
he's a 3rd rounder now.
And now with the ACL tear, you would think that he would just tumble. But I don't think that's going to happen now.
Back in the 2nd, beginning of the 3rd. There will be a team that sees him and just goes, I got to have that kid.
Mm-hmm.
To still do the bench press, that's the kind of kid I want in my locker room. I loved him anyway. So
you loved him anyway.
I did.
Okay. And then how about a stock down for a defensive lineman, Siaki Ika?
Yeah, he didn't have a great week.
He did not have a great week.
He also wore a belly shirt. He looked like Tank Spencer wearing a Taylor Swift Tay-Tay t-shirt.
And then you consider the fact that there were other tackles, that defensive interior linemen that did themselves great favors. Kalijah Cansey, Mozzie Smith as well.
Well, and that's you got to be careful of that because if you were after Siaki Ika, Kalijah Cansey ain't doing anything for you.
Right. I mean, he's the pass rusher.
You got to go orange to an orange, apple to an apple.
Mm-hmm.
And Kalijah Cansey and Siaki Ika play completely different positions.
Mm-hmm.
Mozzie Smith's the one that killed him. Because now you're looking at one and looking at the other going, I don't know what you do. You're like Vita Vea if I bought Vita Vea off Wish. Off an ad on Facebook. And it wasn't even actually Wish. It was Fish.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows up and it's the same size, but it's not nearly the quality of what you told me it was. Yeah, he didn't have a good week.
Yeah.
Also, big dudes, stop wearing belly shirts. Not a good call. All right, we haven't mentioned this guy, and I think he probably had the worst weekend of anybody. He's probably had the worst year of anybody in college football. It's Keyshawn Boutte.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound crazy when I say it. He came into the combine saying he still believes he's the best receiver in the draft. It's not – there is a universe where he doesn't get drafted at all. At all. Athletically, I'm going to give you a point of comparison. He's about where I was at that age. As a receiver, I'm 6'5", and at the time I weighed about 280.
Mm-hmm.
Broad jump, verticals, all those things. It's pathetic how bad he was coming into this. And it shows he had issues. There is a reason he's in this draft. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. Because it is not confirmed, but there's been a lot of smoke about it. Because he said he was coming back, and then he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid has more red flags than a NASCAR race in a thunderstorm. I mean, he scares me to death. I wouldn't even have him on the board. Wouldn't touch him at all. I'm good. There are too many kids in this class. I'm good. Showed up out of shape, mouthy. I'm good.
Yeah.
One of the worst workouts I've ever seen from a receiver.
All right, there you have it. Stock down for Kayshon Boutte. Who, again, this is why it's always fun to look back at the projections.
He was a top 10 guy.
He was top 10 pick.
Mm-hmm. He's not now.
No.
He'll be lucky to go in day 3.
Wow. It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Going to take a quick break here for the bottom of the hour. When we come back, the most important message of the day, plus our next in the line of off-season previews. It's New York Giants time.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty big change up to the weather scene for mid-March. Next week, we could see some below freezing 20s. Nighttime low temps Monday night, Tuesday night, long range. We're at 37 tonight in the valley. Mostly cloudy Thursday, high 62, low 45. Some rain coming in Thursday night, Friday. Friday's high 60 degrees. And then a cooler pattern for the weekend with high temps in the 40s and 50s this weekend. More rain Sunday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge is slow. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Boulevard Road northbound stop and go between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Edneyville, Chimney Rock Road near Rockwood Drive delays both directions. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If cold candidate calls aren't turning into hot hiring leads, then you need Indeed. Because Indeed's powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hey everyone, it's Cassidy Hubbarth from ESPN.
I'm Nico Ramos, a sports broadcaster here in Manila.
Together, we have a new podcast we can't wait to share with you. Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game.
You know, there's religion, there's politics, and there's basketball. And those are the three things you talk about in the Philippines.
It's a basketball love affair like no other. Listen to Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com. And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. You can hear us everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. See us on YouTube in the Ingles Studio. Time for the most important message of the day, which is Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes.
That's right. Don't do crimes. And well, I'm gonna let you go first here because my computer's doing that thing.
Well, my story is it's from a state we don't usually visit for crimes, Utah.
Huh.
A Utah woman was experiencing sadness and pain in her life, and she wanted to change those things. And so she did exactly what we all would do. She ignited a tree of life in her bedroom.
Ignited a tree of life.
It's a 37-year-old woman. She had a tree of life. There is no explanation of what a tree of life is, but I'm going to assume it's like what's the thing that people like trim, the little thing they put on their desk?
Like a bonsai tree?
Bonsai tree. That's what I'm going to assume it is. Because in my head, I can't wrap my head around she's got a dogwood in her bedroom, but maybe I'm just not a horticulturist and I don't know how this works. So she had a cauldron in her bedroom. And she put the tree of life into the cauldron, and she tried to ignite it with a lighter. Well, if you've ever gone camping, you know you can't just light a living tree on fire. You need a little bit of what? Accelerant.
Mm-hmm.
She took what she had, which was a bottle of alcohol, poured it on the tree, and gave her old lighteroo.
Uh-huh.
And guess what happened? She burned her house down.
Of course she did.
And she lived in an apartment. So not only did she burn her house down, she burnt down 5 other people's houses.
Oh, no.
6 of the 12 apartments in the neighborhood were deemed uninhabitable. This also happened at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Okay, I'm not here to rain on your chakras or deal with your jewels or your whatever it is that you think are going to fix your life. With the tree of life. Maybe don't set fires in apartment complexes. Maybe go outside to set your tree of life ablaze.
Right. Or especially don't use accelerants on anything if you're,
Or, and maybe I can't emphasize this enough, if you're trying to burn away the sadness and pain in your life, maybe get a job or make a friend. Stop burning things to make your life better. I mean, I get we're in Asheville and you got all the spirit. It sounds like Aaron Rodgers. It's the spirit of the universe and Mother Nature telling me that all things are better and my chakras are off. And just do better. Stop setting stuff on fire.
Flostradamus, the only thing he supports setting on fire to ease your pain is your liver.
Yes, and I live by 4 basic food groups: nicotine, protein, alcohol, and anger. Let's go.
Nice. All right, here's the story of Richard Madge. There's a crime in here somewhere. I'm just not sure what the crime is.
I mean, I feel like he's very angry because that's.
But I'll let you be the judge here.
Ooh, I'll ring my bell when I hear crimes.
Richard Madge, he disappeared on April the 27th of 2022. His wife Jennifer says she spoke with him over the phone that day, as he said he was leaving early from work. But when Jennifer got off work and arrived home, Richard was gone. His car was parked outside. Very strange disappearance. She reported him missing to the Troy police, and they came in and they searched the residence. They could find no trace of Richard Madge, but what hindered the search was the fact that they said it was a hoarder home. You might be able to tell where this story is going, but 8 months passed and they found his body. He was in the house. He was in the house amongst all of the clutter. I mean, if you've ever seen one of these TV shows, TLC, I think, has the Hoarder show. And if you've ever watched that, I mean, the fact that people can exist in some of that really is unsettling to me. But Madge, I mean, he spent 8 months rotting in a stack of old books or something.
Stop hoarding things.
Yeah, obviously it all came to light.
I mean, do people really do that? Or was that made up for a TV show?
What?
The hoarding thing.
Absolutely, people do that.
But to that level.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that is
I always
an
found that
actual
very
real thing.
hard to believe.
That is an actual real thing.
I mean, I get collecting old nonsense. I do that.
There are people who will not throw away anything, like down to the trash that they produce on a random day.
I don't get that.
I don't get it
I'm sure
either.
it's a mental
It is. It's absolutely a mental illness that you need therapy for. But, you know, like I said, I don't know where the crime is. The reason that the story came back to light now was because the autopsy report came out and they discovered that he did take his own life. But the fact that he was able to do that, and then even the cops came in and could not find him. And then 8 months later, a, quote, sewer-like smell was emanating from the house, which ultimately led to the discovery of the body. Because they finally went, we've got to figure out what's making this smell.
That's awful.
It's absolutely gross. Heartbreaking tale, but just completely weird. That you lived with that for 8 months. And you couldn't even tell. You couldn't even tell until it was way beyond livable. Whew. It is the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. And we continue with our off-season previews. Next up, the New York Giants.
The New York Football Giants.
All right, so the news came out yesterday that Daniel Jones has been signed to a long-term contract.
What were the numbers again?
Oh, what was it, $160 million over 4 years?
It makes me, it fills me with glee when I hear that.
But it wasn't really. See, that's the thing I don't get about these contracts is like, it's technically in it, all the money he gets, that could be a $160 million contract. It's not really close to that because he's got the fourth year in it. It's non-guaranteed. You don't have to pay him anything. You can cut him loose and not pay any of that $47 million on that deal.
Yeah, but you have to pay much of the rest of it. It's still a whole mess of money for a very average quarterback.
Well, it works out to about 3 years, $112 million is what I saw, and that's $37 million a year. But
that's a lot of cash.
It is, but the way the NFL's going, I mean, that's mediocre quarterback money now.
In what universe is that mediocre quarterback? All right, let me ask this.
How many quarterbacks are you going to get to in the next couple of years that are going to be making over $40 million? It's a bunch.
Mm-hmm. And all of those guys are what?
Really good.
And Daniel Jones is not what?
Really good.
There it is. I mean, next year, in terms of cap hit, next year, that deal averages $37 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
How many quarterbacks in the NFL have a cap hit next year that is that big or bigger?
7.
You're too high. It's 4. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Daniel Jones.
I didn't say it was good.
And now they're working on a long-term deal with Saquon. I feel like this is one of those times that John Mara got in his own way. Because I don't know if you saw the report about the contentiousness of these negotiations, and Joe Shane took this to the Mara family, and John Mara cried about potentially losing Daniel Jones. That's not how you do this.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get the Maras are a stalwart family in the NFL. That is a horrible way of doing business. Because what would he have gotten on the open market? This is what I said before the negotiations ever happened. What are you getting on the open market?
$28 million.
No way. Not a snowball's chance in Atlanta. Who's giving it to him? The Jets? No. The Falcons? No. He's a $22 to $25 million quarterback at most. And now you have grossly overpaid, and the biggest problem is that you've tied yourself to him for 3 years. Do I get that he was good this year? Yes. But you don't seem to understand that you played the worst schedule in the NFL. Outside of your own division, you didn't play anybody. And would it shock you at all if he comes back out next year and turns into the fumble-prone, mistake-prone quarterback that we had come to know the first 3 years in the NFL?
No, probably not.
No. This is the same guy that you declined the fifth-year option on. Which, to have your fifth-year option kicked in as a quarterback, you have to be legally breathing. I don't love it. I haven't loved it. And I love Brian Daboll.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like this was we're competitive now. It's been so long since we've been competitive. We have to hold on to this. And I cannot tell you one time that I've ever seen a team do that where it didn't just absolutely blow up in their face.
Mm-hmm.
And you've drafted well. That's what bothers me so much, is that you've drafted well. I mean, I think Evan Neal's going to be fine in a year. Andrew Thomas completely proved me wrong. He's one of the best left tackles in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's always going to come back to Daniel Jones. At best, you have the 20th best quarterback in the NFL.
Maybe that's all I need. Maybe that's all Brian Daboll thinks he needs.
Okay. Name me the last time that a team went deep in the playoffs with that. Not even a Super Bowl. You went deep in the playoffs with that. And if you give me a one-off, I'm going to say, okay, what was the best year other than the year you just said? Because you could go Blake Bortles there. You could go a few other guys. You did it one time.
I was thinking San Francisco with Jimmy Garoppolo.
The fact that you just put Jimmy Garoppolo and Daniel Jones in the same sentence is the most comically stupid thing I think you've ever said.
No, I'm saying he's not an elite quarterback. That's the point.
And he's still a tier above this.
Yeah.
To me, he is close enough that I wouldn't have even gone there.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they're in the ballpark. I'm just saying that's an example of a team that doesn't have a premier quarterback that made a long run.
GG Gambling said Nick Foles and Trent Dilfer. Nick Foles played at an all-pro level for the 6 games he played that season, and Trent Dilfer was 22 years ago. It's kind of my point. That's not how this league works anymore. You got guys all over this league that are elite, and you just tied yourself to a guy that's not. So you'll be just good enough to not be up there for a quarterback, and you will never legitimately threaten anything.
For 3 years. And
3 years is a long time.
I get it, but if it doesn't work, then
And then what are you going to do?
I
mean, do you see this team cratering?
Said, hey,
I don't.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I don't see it cratering out. And so, to me, I feel like he got played. I feel like John Mara overplayed his hand because he's loyal to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's why the Giants have been kind of a running joke for about the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You keep giving deals to guys long past their prime, and you can't move on.
Yep. So they franchise tag Saquon Barkley. What can they do, though? What can they do in free agency? How can they make this team better? Take
Nothing
the next
really.
step.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're hard capped, but you're going to have to move a lot of things around.
Because they've also opened up negotiations with Dexter Lawrence on a long-term deal.
Which they should.
Today.
Which they should. You should be trying to lock these guys up, and you better absolutely be crushing the draft. I mean, look, they have cap space, but you just ate up a ton of it with Daniel Jones. And even if you pushed it down the line, because I haven't seen the breakdown of how this works year to year, you had $47 million going into the offseason. if you did the most unbelievable voodoo in the history of time, you didn't get that cap hit below $25 million. And if you did, it is Gnarls Barkley on the backside. So, yeah, you can add a piece or two. You could be a contender for a high-level player. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
This team is now built through the draft. So, Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, congratulations. You just put yourself 100% on the clock. And if this blows up in your face, don't be shocked when I tell you I told you so. Because there was no market for him outside of the Giants.
Yeah. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Running out of time for the hour here. So, closing thoughts on a Wednesday, Jeremy.
Collusion is stop blaming everything on collusion. The world is not completely against every idea that you come up with. The fact that you could get 32 owners on the same page for anything is comically stupid to me. And Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what it is that you need, but we're here for you. Because I need a quarterback. And every passing day, I'm getting more and more. I'm getting that agita in my chest.
Agita.
That Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be that guy, and I don't know that I'll make it through that.
It is the Sportsocracy. We will be back with you tomorrow at 3 right here in the Ingles Studios. Stay tuned to ESPN Asheville. Immediately following this here program in just a few moments, we're going to have the coverage of the North Carolina Tar Heels' first game in the ACC tournament, tipping off at 7 o'clock, North Carolina against Boston College. Every game is a must-win scenario from here on out for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Could they win here and then go beat Virginia and get in? Maybe. I say you need at least 2 wins in this ACC tournament, maybe 3, to make it to the big dance. We shall see. We will see you back here tomorrow.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and US 1923 exit 3. Due to an accident, 2 left lanes are blocked. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Future 26 eastbound, stop and go between Riverside Drive and 240. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Edneyville, Chimney Rock Road, both directions near Rockwood Drive is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If cold candidate calls aren't turning into hot hiring leads, then you need Indeed. Because Indeed's powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
It's The Woody Show.
Hello.
Rod Ryan Show, check it in.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
Alter Ego, are you ready?
All of the best free curated playlists. My favorite music.
A little bit of everything.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
Stuff they don't want you to know.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
And best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Spring fire season is here, and you are the best defense against wildfires. Make sure to have a water hose, buckets,